Pure Talk today.
4 police officers in India have been fined and sentenced to 2 weeks in prison for contempt of court, a case linked to the public beating of a group of Muslim men.
Images on social media of Muslim men tied to a pole and beaten by police officers triggered widespread anger across India last year. As the men were flogged, crowds in the Gujarati village cheered and chanted nationalist slogans. The High Court ruled that the police should not infringe civil liberties. It said those arrested had the right to life with dignity. The sentencing has been suspended for 3 months to allow the officers time to appeal.
The BBC's Embarrassant Etarajan. Northern Europe is bracing for bad weather, including gale force winds from the east, with authorities saying floods could cause major problems in inland Danish waterways, as well as in the Baltic Sea. A Danish broadcaster says it could be the worst flooding in 110 years. News and analysis, townhall.com. A meeting in Mexico has huge implications for the United States, given the wide-open southern border.
Mexico's president says the leaders of Cuba, Venezuela, Haiti, and Honduras will attend a summit on migration that Mexico will host Sunday. The 4 countries are among the biggest sources of migrants currently showing up at the U.S. border. President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador said that President Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela, President Miguel Diaz-Canel of Cuba, and Prime Minister Ariel Henry of Haiti will attend the meeting. Keith Peters reporting.
A flight of Venezuelans deported from the U.S. under new measures by the Biden administration has now landed outside the South American country's capital. A high-ranking ICE official says that those who were chosen for the flights included recent arrivals as well as Venezuelans who had committed crimes in the U.S. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday.
Yes.
We made it to Thursday. And
as a special bonus, you get Kangol Mike today.
yes.
That's right.
I went with the hat today.
Well,
I thought it was gonna be
Scully
cooler.
Mike. I gotta remember the brand that you rock.
Yeah.
Scully.
And to be honest, the black hat here is not a Scully.
Come on, you could,
This one is-
Who would have known?
All my other ones are Scully. This one's actually Levi's.
Oh snap! I like. Okay, so you go 501 on us. All
Yeah,
right.
this one. Well, actually, this was. To be honest, this hat was the hat that spawned the Scully thing.
Okay.
So I got for Christmas a which is a more of a winter hat, which will probably be donning here in the coming months.
Okay.
If you know, which I got.
You just reminded me of my winter hat that I can't wait to don.
And so the winter hat begat this hat, and I was
Nice.
like, "This is me now." This is, and so then I went and bought the 4 Scullys, 3 Scullys. I'm sorry, 3 Scullys. Now I'm up to 5 hats.
I mean,
of
I
this.
dig the look,
Yeah.
but I just feel like you really need to take up golfing. Like with a hat like that, it lends itself to.
I don't have the patience for golf.
Yeah, maybe
No.
mini golf.
Like I like going to the driving range and embarrass myself there.
Mm-hmm.
But actually on the course, I feel like I'm a problem. I'm so
There's
bad at it.
There's a line of other golfers waiting for you to finish.
I'll be that guy, and I don't want to be that guy.
I get that.
I'll be that guy, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I mess everybody's game up. I don't mean to. Not my thing. So, I mean, if you need a designated cart driver,
I'll be your cart boy.
I can do that, boy. I'm quite proficient at cart driving, but golfing, I'm not so good at it.
I always wanted a caddy just because I wanted to be like that caddy that was terrible at it. Like, hey, you should try your 9-wood on this one. What are you talking about?
Oops.
Who would ever pitch and wedge? That's what you need right here, pitch and wedge.
Yeah, and then you stand there with like all the extra tees, just picking your teeth with them and doing stuff like that.
I always wanted to be that guy that like had the putter, but like around the shoulders, like, yeah, good day to be alive, huh, boys?
That's right.
You're bending my putter. What are you doing?
And then you bring your own club covers, and they're not appropriate at all. They're just
just tube socks. Dirty tube socks.
Yep, that's be me. But happy Thursday, everybody.
Welcome to it.
Speaking of sports, of course, Friday night, tomorrow night, big football game.
Foosball action
going on here. But for Goddard Rocket fans, if you were going to be traveling to Artesia to root on the Rockets as they play the Bulldogs Friday night, Goddard fans, you can pre-purchase tickets to the game at Purple Pass Search for the Artesia Goddard football game, or Artesia High School. I think you look under either one. There will be a gate that pre-purchase holders can use for faster entry into the stadium. Use the gate just north of the main gate on the east side of the stadium, and that will be the prepared ticket gate there.
Yes.
I do have a link that Gene sent me.
And he posted up on all our Facebook.
And he posted on our Facebook. Good. I was going to have Roy do it if he didn't. But we do have a link on our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page. You can click that link to pre-purchase your tickets for tomorrow night's game at the Bulldog Bowl tomorrow night for you Got It Rocket fans. So
yeah, and you're going to want to pre-purchase those tickets because it's going to be a full stadium.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a packed house at the Bulldog Bowl tomorrow night. So get there. I'll be there with you. I'll be in the press box.
I'm going to talk to Boss Man about seeing if we can't sneak into the other side, the VIP section.
Ah.
Yeah.
If you want to push buttons, you can do my job. Get in and they'll give you a pass and everything.
Yeah. That's the problem. I don't want to ask too much. I might also have children in tow. We're not totally sure.
Yeah, but yeah, we got the. Of course, if you cannot make it to the Bulldog Bowl tomorrow night, we will have the game for you on our sister station, 106.1 FM Fierro, and live streaming video, ksvptv.com in the Got It Rocket channel for the Got It Rocket perspective.
Mike going to be the director. We actually got him a chair, got him those high-waisted pants, one of them big, like,
megaphone things.
Yeah, megaphone things.
I already
you
got
don't
the
see
hat.
those. You don't see those on a Hollywood set today.
I kind of already have the hat.
You do. You really do. All right, action, people.
Yeah, I think they have technology now. You don't need the big megaphone.
I'd love to go old school. Like, I'd love to just walk on set with one of them big megaphones and be like, all right, we need this to the set now. It just
so
feels,
if I only talk to
right.
people like 3 feet away from me with
it,
I'd just be like, when's lunch?
Craft services.
All right. I forgot to tie my shoes.
This guy only cares about the craft services table. He's no concern with the film.
Need more zero flavored beverages, please.
What's the status on our pretzel rods? Pretzel rods.
Yeah, that's what I'd use it for.
Just craft services.
And then when I want to direct commands, I just yell out my mouth.
There you go.
So I don't even use the megaphone. When I want to do real work with it, I only nitty useless stuff is what I would use it.
Of course. Heading to the bathroom.
Need a cup of coffee.
I just feel like coned amplification devices need to make a comeback. You don't see them enough. You know, back in the day, cheerleaders used to use them.
Yeah.
You know, people in the streets that were trying to like incite riots, they used to use them. Whoever the inventors of cupped amplification devices really let the ball drop. You know.
Well, technology. You know, they just went the way of the dodo.
It's just a shame.
You know, although you still want to rip roar a good time with your kids, get your styrofoam cups and strings and
That's
run
right.
around the house, and
That's
they
right.
could play telephone with those. So, anyway, we do have a full slate
We're
for you
old school
today.
like that.
Just get that big cone. I made bad choices. That's all I say.
Come on, kids, let's go knock a tin ring down the street with a stick.
I bet that could be riveting.
I've never that's one of those things that, like, from a bygone era that blows my mind. It's like, how was that fun for you?
Well, think of all the games we played as a kid.
I know there was no technology, kick the can and stuff.
Jacks. I mean, honestly.
Jacks can be fun if you put them underneath, like, the floor, on the floor when your sister gets out of the shower. They can
Everything's
be a blast.
fun when you don't use them for its intended purpose.
That's right. Jacks are a blast when you huck them at traffic.
Yeah.
They're so much fun.
I mean, the top, honestly. I mean, after one or two spins, what are we doing after that?
You know what's really funny is I am a man who, in the past calendar month, has bought not one, but 2 tops.
Yeah?
Thank you, Timu.
The Timu tops.
Timu tops. I was just scrolling along. I'm like, well, that looks like it would be fun.
I feel like that should be a T-shirt. The Timu tops.
The Timu tops. You never know what size they're going to be. You order one that's like an Inception top, and it comes in it's this big. You
That's
order
right.
one, you're thinking it's going to be this big. It's that big.
Yeah, everything's like Men in Black.
That's
I'm just
right.
not sure if it's the real size or tiny.
One of the
We just live in a
funniest,
marble.
one of the funniest moments last week. Jocelyn, she goes, "Hey, I got my blanket from Timu," and she holds it up.
Oh, no. Is it
And
like a bib?
It's this big. It's basically a baby blanket. I'm like, well, you could hang it up on your wall as like a tapestry.
My elbow was freezing, and that thing helped.
It was comically small. I even said, I was like, what is that, a blanket for ants?
Oh, a handkerchief's cute.
I mean, it was super soft.
Oh, man. Yeah. Someday.
I'm going to get you there, man. I'm going to get you on there.
When you buy 30 of them, you put them together, and you got your full blanket.
That's right. Dude, I actually had the thought the other day, because I'm like, well, they sell these really nice, really soft carpets, but they sell them in very awkward sizes.
Yeah.
So if I get enough of them, I could probably do my whole room.
There you go.
And just fur-lined shag.
I know a couple guys that floored their floor with
Carpet samples?
sampling carpets. Yeah, I know a couple.
I've had that thought in my mind at least a few times in my adult life.
It's like, what do you got, shag or yes?
Yes.
I got it all.
All of it.
High running shag.
What do you
got
want, shag? It's the corner over there. Did you do your walls in it? Hey, free is free.
That's right. I kept getting more. I keep going. I got more place to put it. So a lot of vans in the 70s had it. Sorry, I have a cold. Trying to stop it.
Oh, what's his name? The bully from The Simpsons. That's the gift he got when he was in jail at Christmas, in juvenile detention at Christmas.
Yeah.
They gave him a book of carpet samples. He goes, a book of carpet samples? And he's just rubbing his face on it.
One man's trash.
Nelson. There he is.
Let me give you the rundown. Probably need to get an interview going here. We're going to replay our interview we had with Crystal Noble from the Roswell Humane Society. She joined us in the 9 o'clock hour yesterday. Give us an update on pets and all that good stuff. And big sales for Halloween stuff.
Yes.
This Saturday and next at the thrift store there. So we'll play that interview here in just a few minutes. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Ward 2 City Councilor Juliana Halverson scheduled to join us and talk a little bit about homeless and some of that. I think that's some of the areas she wants to address in our discussion today. So we'll do that here in the 8 o'clock hour. In the 9 o'clock hour, Bob Power's going to join us to talk about two things. He's got a dance coming up this weekend and also a Veterans Day dinner as well that he wants to put on people's radar. So he'll join us. Also, we are scheduled to normally have the DA's office come in at 9:15. I've not gotten a note from them. Usually I get a little note saying they're coming. So we'll see. If they come, great. If not, then we'll just figure something else out. So that and whatever else we can come up with for today's show.
I feel like ever since they gave Kentai a gun, he's like, yeah, I'll show up if I want to.
I do what I want.
I'll be there if I want to be. I'm a DA, doggone it.
It is 7:17. I ain't going to lie. I was expecting to maybe a cooler day. Not so much. But rain chances for next week. So here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Not much going on over our region. We have high pressure in place and dry air, so no rain expected for a while. We'll be in the low to mid 80s for the afternoon high today. Lots of sunshine. Overnight looks clear with low 50s. Warming up a little bit on Friday with upper 80s and continued sunshine. Mix of sun and clouds on Saturday and Sunday. Highs close to 90. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 50 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 63%. Winds currently out of the north at 5 miles per hour. 88 under sunny skies for a high today. I was kind of expecting like lower 80s, but surprise, upper 80s today. Winds will be out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 51 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, high of 89 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 57 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, partly cloudy, 89. Winds out of the northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, we're looking at cloudy skies, overnight low 56. Sunday, sunny, 88 for a high. Mostly clear Sunday night with an overnight low of 54. Monday, sunny and 87, and then Monday night we're looking at rain chances, a 30% chance of rain Monday night, and a 40% chance of rain on Tuesday with a high of 77, and a 30% chance of rain Tuesday night with highs, overnight low of 54. So we'll be in the upper 70s Tuesday and Wednesday next week with rain chances. So we'll see. All right, it is 7:19. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with Crystal Noble from the Roswell Humane Society. Don't go away.
This October, Artesia General Hospital is here to help you take charge of your breast health. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer. Understanding your family history and getting screened can help lower your risk and lead to early detection. They're pleased to offer advanced 3D mammography, providing increased early detection, more accurate results, and enhanced comfort. Don't wait. Request your mammogram today. Women over 40 don't need a physician's referral to schedule their annual screening. Visit artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Of all the flowers in the world, pansies get a bad rap. Hi, this is Jim Gill with Roswell Seed Company. The name pansies sound delicate and weak, but in reality, pansies are bold and beautiful. When the frost has killed all the other flowers, pansies start blooming and they'll bloom all winter long, which is why you should come see us at Roswell Seed. We have a greenhouse full of colorful pansies ready to brighten up the coldest winter day. So come get your pansies, and remember, if someone calls you a pansy, take it as a compliment.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by visiting our website, nationalguard.com/NM.
Honey, read this. Seems Councilman Barry Foster didn't pay his water bill for over 2 years, owing almost $2,000.
How? They would have cut his water off.
State mandates the water service couldn't be cut during COVID.
This says the Fosters make around $150,000 a year, and they refuse to pay their water bill?
Since Barry Foster's been on city council, city debt has tripled. With rising crime, he voted against hiring 5 new police officers.
And the city delayed vital repairs to our drinking water system. Now, repair costs have skyrocketed.
It's time for a change.
Change by voting for Carlos Marujo.
He's a supervisor at Eastern New Mexico U. Carlos knows how inflation impacts Roswell's working families.
Carlos Marujo will demand Roswell live within its means. He respects taxpayers.
We can't afford 16 years of Councilman Barry Foster.
Our Values PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by Our Values PAC. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us officially in studio this morning, Crystal Noble with the Roswell Humane Society.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good, enjoying the cool down.
It is nice, even though it's kind of warmer for the cool down this week. But it's not 105. It's just
I'll take the 80s over 100s any day.
You can stand outside and not melt.
But it's a different 80 now.
That's true. It's got a little cooler breeze to it and little
when it's
fall Christmas.
Summer 80, it's still hot. Yeah. But we're fall 80, so it's more like a crisp, breezy.
Yeah. It's got a
creep
coolness,
up on you.
It's got a coolness in the smell and the
It does. I love the way the mornings smell when I leave for work.
Yeah.
When I can smell because, allergies are real bad, but you walk out and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. But, it is that you're true. That is true. It's way better, than 85 in July. Usually it's raining when that happens in July. But
and then 125% humidity.
Yes, exactly. So enjoy it while we have it here. But that being said, this is a great time. Like if you want to
dog walking
and come visit our animals and take them outside when this is that time of year. This is the sweet spot for it. And this is like if you like lot of volunteers if you just want to come and walk the animals and interact, that's a great thing. But a lot of times you get folks that maybe live in an apartment, they're dog lovers, but their home is just not conducive to own a dog. So come visit. You can take dogs into the family room there and play with them and get them just human. The more interaction with humans, the better, the more social, the more adoptable these dogs come.
And the smaller dogs are the ones that need the most socialization.
Okay. They're the ones that are more skittish around people and
they
things.
Are.
Bigger dogs love everybody.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There are some bigger dogs that obviously don't adapt well.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more socialization we can give them, the better it helps them. But the majority of it is little dogs.
Okay. I imagine it's a PTSD thing for the dogs. Like if a bigger dog that had some bad experience with people will probably be more shy dog.
Right.
Versus a dog that never experienced that. And little dogs, they just tend to... Little dogs they're all bark and no bite. That's kind of what most of them. Some are. But once you crack that tough exterior nut, then they're your buddy. It's just they got to act tough till they realize you're not a threat to them.
They have to keep the little dog or big dog syndrome going.
Yeah. So they gotta walk tall and carry the big stick until they realize you're not a threat.
Right.
So by you coming and just trying to make headway and get these dogs in an environment where they feel comfortable around you, that's going to make them more likely to visit other strangers and warm up to them quicker than it would normally take. So this is a great way for you to help especially these dogs that get a little long time in there, where they get a little institutionalized, where they're there 6 months and more. Those dogs really need that love. They really need that. We don't want them to get jaded to a point where life for them is in a cage.
Right.
And so by you coming and walking them or playing with them, and just giving them some love is really great for the mental side of these pets.
And it also helps them when it comes time for adoption, to be able to interact with a new person easier. And it's less stressful for every new person that the dog meets.
Sure. Well, and I would even argue too that especially some of these dogs that have been here a longer time, dogs are territorial. Like once they know that's their home, they're going to defend it.
Right.
So you're getting a little bit of that too.
I have my temporary dog, and she guards my office. Like she goes to work with me every day, and so she doesn't let anybody come in my office unless I tell her it's okay. But she guards the office, like that's her domain.
Yeah.
From 8 to 5, that is hers.
Yeah. Cats are the same way, by the way, just in different ways. To be honest, I was reading a whole thing. You know how sometimes cats love to bum rush into the bathroom with you and all that?
Yes.
Sure, some of that's for attention. That's part of it. But also that's a sign of love and protection. Like what they know you're in there going to the bathroom. They know that's your most vulnerable time. So a lot of them will be on lookout for you, is what they're instinctually, that's what they're doing. And so, sometimes it's just to get love and attention. But if you just kind of see them sitting off to the side, like my cat Hannah, every time comes in, does a whole thing, and once I've done petting her, and I'm like, all right, I got to do what I got to do here. Leave me alone.
It is my time.
She literally sits behind our shower curtain and just waits for me to finish, and that's.
So she's ready to pounce.
Yeah, she's actually in her protect mode. That's what they're doing. It's actually a sign of love.
Or they're waiting for you to turn your back so they can pounce on you.
Right.
They're like, I'm going to get you when you're so vulnerable.
It's down in there. But that's animals. That's what they do.
They do.
So once you understand some of that, then a lot of the behavior makes sense, and you kind of appreciate it. You're like, oh, that's a sign of that they're trying to show that they're connecting to me.
Well, it's funny because when I take her outside to go potty, I take her in the backyard, and she'll go outside and she'll walk around and she'll look for me. And if I move, she comes back over to me.
Interesting.
And she's like, nope. So I have to stand still in one spot because she has to be able to see me.
Uh-huh.
And then she's like, okay, I can do my business because you're watching my back. But if you're moving around, you're not watching my back.
It's like, hey, you ain't got my six if you're doing that. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And so she can see our horse from the backyard. And the majority of the time he's out farther in the pasture. But when he comes up closer, she's like, is this okay? She's like, I'm not sure about this. Is this okay?
Yeah. And that's to me, that's the best part of being an animal.
Right.
You know, having an animal as part of your life and all that is, is those connections and being able to find that kinship and bondship when you don't have a common language to connect with.
Right.
It's
when she doesn't understand my wolf and I don't understand her wolf. I thought that wolf meant something else.
Yeah, exactly. And so that to me is the beauty of being a pet owner and being all that, is to make that, and I think it helps in other aspects of your life too. But
it does.
That being said, when you come down to the Humane Society and adopt, and you got to remember that. And we say this every single time you are seeing the animals, and it doesn't matter if you're in the Humane Society or Animal Control or any of our rescues. If you're in there looking at pets, you're seeing them at their worst. You're seeing them in jail, basically. And they're not going to be always the most affectionate or even, they're going to look sometimes stressed and disheveled because they're out of their comfort zone. Once you get them home, and you'll see the real personality and character of that.
A lot of times people will call us later on to update us on how an animal is doing, and they'll be like, this is the most affectionate dog but also the most protective dog. They become a very good family protective dog.
They get it. They know that you brought them home and gave them a whole world,
right?
And they show that love.
We had he was a hound lab mix. His name was Buddy, and when he got adopted, it was with a family that had 2 little kids.
Okay.
And they were eye level to him, so he's like, "You are mine," right away. And it was so sweet. And she had called us 6 months later on, and she's like, "Hey," she goes, "we have something for you. We want to bring it by." And I'm like, "Okay." Well, they had taken Christmas photos with Buddy and the kids, and they got Buddy matching pajamas to match the kids.
Oh, nice.
Well, he's sitting on the couch, and the kids are sitting next to him, and he's got a paw on each one of the kids. He's
kind of like embracing around the arm.
This, but he's like this.
That's cool.
And so they all came in, and they brought Buddy down, and he comes in, and he's all happy, and I went to say something to the little boy, and he stood right in front of the little boy and pushed him back.
Oh, wow.
I was like, all right, good boy. And so she said that when they go to the park, her husband has to walk Buddy on the other side because if anybody talks to the kids or her, he gets right in between and pushes them back.
Nice.
And he doesn't growl or bark
now,
or
did
nothing.
Buddy remember you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. He's like, oh, hi. But you're not touching the kids. You're not talking to the
right.
kids.
He's like, hey, these are my people now.
Yeah.
And
you talk to me, you come through me. But, and she said, if once, they start talking to somebody, and if they tell Buddy it's okay, then he'll, okay, you can, whatever.
Right. Once the kids or the family kind of says they're safe, they're good, then he lets down his guard a little bit. Yeah.
But he always meets the UPS man door in the window, and the UPS man has to wave at him before he stops barking at him. So he honks the horn, waves at him, and then Buddy knows, okay,
it's dog's cool in the gang.
It's my UPS guy. So if they have another UPS guy, she said they don't know the routine, and he just goes nuts. He's like, "You're not coming on my porch. There might be a glass here, but you're not coming on my porch."
They're gonna need a sign. Just wave at him, and he'll stop.
Yeah, honk, wave, he'll stop. She said, and they didn't know it, and they have the Ring camera. And so,
so they see the pattern.
They see the pattern.
Yeah.
And so they were home one day, and the UPS guy said, "Do you know the only way I can get your dog not to bark at me is if I honk the horn to let him know it's me, and I wave as I'm walking up. He knows it's me." He's all, if I could give him a treat through the window, I'd have given him a treat.
Yeah.
And she started laughing. She goes, he doesn't need them. He's really plump.
He's well fed on those.
But it's funny because he just picked up that routine.
And I love that I'm going to be willing to bet the UPS guy is a dog owner or a dog. You know, he's got a lot of experience with dogs to know that. You know what I mean?
Or he's been chased a time or two.
Learned the hard way. But, you know, because he caught the pattern and he knew. He's like, this dog is doing its job. It's all it's doing.
Yeah.
And if I can crack that armor a little bit, we'll be fine. And kind of figured that way.
Yeah, she said they got to introduce Buddy to the UPS guy one day. And they had some treats they handed him. So that way they could give him to him.
Uh-huh.
And he was just like, oh, my buddy. Like, he was like the happiest thing ever because all the Amazon boxes the boxes that were coming were his Chewy boxes.
Ah.
So he knew, you're bringing my stuff.
Right.
He recognized the Chewy
It's
on the
kind of like
box.
that one Chewy commercial, like the peanut butter box is here.
Yes.
That one. Well, that's cool. But again, this goes back to, this is what the cool part about incorporating a pet into your family is all about.
It is.
It is such a good thing. And if dogs aren't, you know, you don't live in a place that's conducive to that, maybe look at a cat. Cats are amazing animals. And despite, their brains function and work a little different than dogs do. But as far as all the things that people say about cats, like they just let you live together and all this, no. They will build that same love and respect and trust that dogs do. Someone's feeling good, got up for a minute.
Yeah. She's like, you're talking too much about dogs.
That's right.
You're not talking enough about me.
But so please come. Now, that being said, now we are in the middle of Halloween in October. Yes. So if you want a all black or all white cat, we're still a few weeks away before we're going to release
November
those.
7th will be the official release date before any all black or all white cats can go for adoption.
Yep. And if you want to ask why, talk to the Humane Society. They'll be happy to tell you the reason.
We currently don't have any all white cats.
Okay.
We do have plenty of all black cats, but not all white.
So if you come to the Humane Society and you see some black cats online.
We have them moved out.
Okay. Can you see them online at least?
No, our website is being a slight temperamental and it'll upload the information, but it's not uploading the photos.
Okay, I gotcha.
So we're trying to get that figured out.
Okay, well, when that gets rectified, they'll upload those photos. Yeah. But if you'll just have to wait till after the month's over here to get those cats, and it's because
not far.
People do weird things with those particular colored cats around this time of year. So
and if you've noticed a few vehicles around town that have some very satanic things on their vehicle. They might be part of that group.
Yeah, and just gee whiz information. If you are an owner of an all black or all white cat, please make sure they stay indoors. Yeah, you shouldn't be outdoors anyway, but make doubly sure that they are this time because you let your cat out at night to go do its thing, hunting, whatever it's into. These people are probably walking around the neighborhoods looking for stuff like that.
And a lot of people have asked in the past. Why don't they, go for like stray cats? Because they can't handle stray cats.
Yeah.
And they have to be able to handle the cats.
You ever try to get one of these stray cats in the alley, the feral cats? If you win that fight, you're going to look like you run a fight, regardless.
Right.
Even if you win it, you're going to look like you run a fight.
Right.
So, path of least resistance. That's what they're doing there.
But we have, I have a cat transport coming up this Monday, and I only have like 3 cats that will be coming right out of quarantine afterwards. We've had really good adoption rates with cats. Like as soon as they're coming out of quarantine, they're going up. And the ones going to Albuquerque are ones going into foster because they're still pretty small. And
okay, so it's your younger ones and things. Because I always want to remind people, like, don't forget the older cats and dogs.
Yeah,
the ones they're usually the hardest, or handicapped or disabled cats. And every once in a while you get a 3-legged cat or dog in there, or a blind dog or cat.
And it's really weird because we had a 3-legged dog for the longest time, and nobody realized she was 3-legged because it was one of her back legs.
Okay.
But she did not
limp or anything?
Nothing.
So unless you saw her full body, you were like, oh, that's a 3-legged dog.
Yeah. So unless, she would be out walking around and you could see all four sides of her, all sides of her, you wouldn't realize it because she didn't act like it.
Okay. Oh, I got to ask, speaking of, because I think it was last week, y'all put an adorable Siamese cat.
He's already adopted.
I was about to say, is that the cat found a home?
He found a home, yes.
Because my wife and I were looking at it, I was like, you sure you don't want a third cat? I was like, you know what? I would consider it, but it's a boy. And we got 2 girls. I don't know how that, because that
mission in process. I will start sending you pictures of all the female Siamese. I know you want to keep the females. I will send you. We get a ton of them.
Because it almost got us. We were looking at that. We're like, oh, what a cute cat.
All right.
Oh,
all
my
right.
gosh.
What about a third, second tortoise shell?
Oh, my God. Me personally, I'm okay with it. I'm just worried what world that's going to do with my other two.
But a kitten?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to make them get up. It's going to make them run. It's going to make them angry. And then they're going to want to hide. And then they're going to beat the crap out of it.
My cats are spoiled. They're not going to be like embracing the kitten as like, hey, let me come into the fold.
They might if the kitten's like, oh, mommy like.
Yeah. It would have to be an amazing kitten to do. But you know what? We are suckers. I'm not going to lie. If you do it, we probably will cave at some point.
Oh, I know. I know Kim, too. Be like, hi.
But that's Siamese. We both saw it that day last week. And we're like, oh, because it was just a photogenic cat. I don't know what that picture that y'all took. It was like straight out of a.
Cats are the hardest to get photos of.
But that cat was so photogenic. It looked right out of a magazine.
Out of like the 5 photos posted, it took like 150 to get those 5 photos.
I would have guessed.
So, anytime you see cat photos, just know that that's taken us like a whole hour just to get that cat
Respect
photoed.
to the process, because that photo, it almost got it. I was like, oh my God, the eyes, the whole, it was just literally like, please adopt me.
Yeah. But we get in a lot of Siamese kittens, and we get in a lot of females.
It was a beautiful cat, and it just looked so like living in a house. It'd be such a great.
I'm just gonna start sending you photos of all the female cats that come in. Look at this one. Look at this one.
Well, unfortunately, I have a little more willpower than my wife. Well, the wife is the real. Like, if she gets it set, then we're getting a cat. I have no say in that point.
I will make sure that it gets delivered to her personally.
She's got it in her head, then it's a done deal. If I get in my head, it's we got to convince her. But once it's in her head, it don't matter a thing I say or do. We're getting the cat.
Well, there's a possibility that there could be a third cat in Mike's future.
Well, you'll hear the stories on the radio because that's what I do. So I come in looking like I got attacked by a bunch of crows or something with all the scratches. You know what happened.
Mike got a kitten.
I got to be honest though. Pull back the curtain. If y'all looked at my upper thighs and to my knee, it kind of looks like I'm an abuse victim because of all the cats in my lap, and they leap off and could scratch me every single time.
So when I don't have my calmer niece, and we have our dogs, our Great Dane Titus is tall enough that his tail runs straight across the small of my back. And his tail's always going. It's just whap, 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 whap. It's a whip. So for the longest time, I had a continuous bruise across the back of the lower part of my back, and then right under my butt cheek, because it either swings high or it swings low. And I was like, God, it looks like somebody's beating the crap out of me, like with a belt. Like I'm back in like slave days.
It's just like those moves where you see like a drop of water hitting a rock for thousands of years, and the dent it's created in that same thing.
Yeah. And then like I'll have bruises like on my thigh from his paws, because when he sits on the couch, he has to put a paw on me. And so his paw's like my hand size.
Yeah.
And he pushes, and I'm like,
like, hey, I appreciate the contact, and
I'm
you
like,
got to touch. It's
I love you, but get your big old meat paws off me.
Just rest your head on my shoulder. That's way more comfortable.
He has the boniest butt of any dog I have ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
He has meat through his entire body except his tail and his butt cheeks. It is all bone.
Yeah.
And those are his defenses. He's all...
That's like those cats with their legs and their feet. When they stand up and it's like, oh, you're hitting the bony parts.
Yeah, it's like they know exactly where to push.
Yeah, exactly. And on occasion, Bella's the notorious one. When when it's time to get up from my lap and she leaps off, she always pushes in that special spot that guys really, really don't like them pushing off on. And every once in a while, I double over in pain. It's like, what's the matter? I was like, cat.
So, our little dog, Honeybee, is infamous for using John's lap as a launching pad.
Uh-huh.
So, if he's sitting down, he always has a pillow.
It's probably smart.
Yeah.
Probably smart. I'd be stupid to do that.
Well, she does like figure 8 zoomies around the house and goes just into this whole crazy mode. And so she'll run up the couch and run across John and then leap off and then hit that side of the love seat and come back over. So he's just like...
Yeah. Bella will do that with the couch. She'll tear up. And then our couch is in the corner, and there's like a little gap about that much between the couch and she'll run across the back and then dive down that little, like without even missing a beat. She's just like... down that hole. I'm like, whoa. And then she shoots out the side and back around. But anyway, yeah. Again, this is that fun of having animals in your home. The cats, the dogs, it doesn't matter here. As far as the dog side, can we spotlight a few dogs that we need homes right now?
Well, I have Angel, which is still a small dog.
Okay.
And then we have Willow, which is a small terrier mix.
Okay.
We have... trying to think. Angel and Willow are the two smaller dogs. When you first walk in, you see them.
Okay.
We still have the bigger lab Willow, and then her sister Sapphire.
Labs are great dogs. We need a good family dog.
They're lab pit mixes, but they're both super sweet, super affectionate.
My sissy was a lab pit mix and the best dog I've ever had in my family.
They've been there since March of this year.
Good deal.
And they're sisters.
They're such...
They
all
are
the
most...
things we were talking about earlier about the protection and loyalty to the family, that lab pit mix, to be honest, both of those breeds, that's ingrained in them. That's what they do. They're protectors. They're like, if you raise a pit right, it is the most loving family dog you will ever have. I'm telling you right now, it's all about the owner on those things. I know people get scared and things like that.
They are very friendly.
Mm-hmm.
They are friendly with other dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They love to go for walks. I can't remember if it's Willow or Sapphire. One of them's a little bit more pudgier, and the other one's a lot more musky. So one looks like a lab, and one looks like a
One's
pit.
got the pit barrel.
One's muscular and one's hunkier.
What about the face and stuff? Like Sissy, my Sissy had like lab here, but pit here.
Exact same.
She had the shorter nose.
Exact same.
Yeah.
Exact same.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And they're
dogs.
red.
Okay, so they got
red.
more of that red color. Okay, so it's got more
the pit.
The pit colors.
For the coloring, yeah.
Yeah, because labs are either black, yellow, or sometimes have a whitish color. But they don't go red.
No, unless they get dyed.
Yeah.
But they're the sweetest. They are just a good dog for a family.
Yeah.
They don't really seem to be affected by too much. You know, they're just like, well.
They roll with the punches generally. But they're loyal to a fault almost. They will be there for you.
Yep.
They will, especially with, and I'm telling you, they're good with kids. You train the kids to not do dumb things to the dog and things like that, and work with it. But even still, with lab in them, I've seen kids tug on the ears and the tails, and the dog just lays there like, okay, you know what I mean? It understands when a child is, Again, it's all on how you interact and how you raise that dog.
Right.
But I will tell you, that dog will be your best friend, your protector, your loyal brother, sister, uncle, whatever you want to call it in your family. That dog will be it. I'm telling you right now.
When push comes to shove, that dog is going to be right there in the middle.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm telling you, you there's a bond there that is all you do is give it some love and some guidance, and you will find you will have someone that will die for you.
Pretty much.
That will literally die for you. So
pretty much.
It's just it's a cool feeling, and as a dog owner, that's that bond thing. Like I love cats, I love dogs, but dogs have that. That's what separates dogs from cats. Is you get the loyalty and trust of a dog, they will die for you. A cat will hang out with you till the end, but will not die for you.
No, they're going to be like, all right, new master.
It's like time to jump off into the volcano. Like, good luck to you.
Yeah. They're like, I'm going to go find a new
The
master.
dog will be like, you ready to do this? Let's do it. So,
right. The cat's like, here, let me help you.
Yeah, exactly. But that's really, so please, when you come in and you're looking for, please think in that term. Is if you're not ready to make this pet fully integrated into your family, then maybe it's not the time to adopt a pet. And we want to adopt every one of these pets and make sure but if you're not prepared to be a full-fledged owner of this pet, then maybe you shouldn't adopt a pet. Start with a fish or a hamster or something that doesn't quite require the love and maintenance.
Or expense, because they are expensive.
Fish are cheap for the most part, depending on what kind of fish you get.
We can discuss expenses with this one right here.
Yeah.
She's already
that's as much as a human, I bet.
$5,000 in, and she's only 2 years old. So
yeah, especially dogs, bigger dogs, well, cats too. It is. You're going to be. It's like raising a child.
Uh-huh.
The only difference is you don't send them to college at the end. That's the difference.
Well, you could call it sending them to college when it's the final time of their stages, but the Rainbow Bridge sounds a little bit better than I sent my dog to college.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's the hardest part. Is when it's over.
That is the hardest part of anything is having to say goodbye and having to make that decision.
Yeah. So maybe if that's a big issue for you, go with the cats. Cats generally have a little bit. They got a few more years usually than dogs.
Littler
do.
dogs and cats live 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
Sometimes
and cats will even
20.
go. Yeah. Sometimes cats will go into 25 years depending on the breeds and the life it led.
Right.
It is absolutely so.
Thrift store.
Yes, let's talk thrift store.
So they have more Halloween costumes out.
Good.
They have a lot of Halloween decor.
I'm telling you right now, before you go any place to buy anything new for Halloween, decor, costumes, the pumpkins to carry candy, any of that stuff, go to the thrift store.
They have it, and it's cheap.
You're going to save money. You're going to spend a third of what you would have if you bought it new somewhere else.
So they do have a ton of the trick-or-treat buckets. They have a ton of Halloween decor. Costumes are $2 to $5. Some of them are brand new and
that's the thing. They either won once or not at all.
If you are one of those DIY people and you like to make your own things, they have a ton of wicker baskets so you can make your own.
Okay.
They have
or save them for fall if you got like fall stuff ideas you want to do here.
Right.
Yeah.
They had a ton of football jerseys. Roswell High, Goddard High, Mountain View, Sierra, Brendo donated.
Oh, nice.
Hundreds of them.
Oh, cool.
With
so if you want
no
to show
names on the back.
Okay.
Just the school information.
So if you want to show your love on Friday nights to your team.
Or coaches, if you guys need extra jerseys
some
for the kids.
Practice jerseys or something, or giveaways to give to fans or something, come reach out. Yeah.
Yes. Now, if you are like most people and,
or collectors, maybe there's some jersey collectors and they're looking for old coyote or old local school jerseys, and you might find what you're looking for there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
She has an entire rack of them and then boxes.
Or maybe you're starting a local restaurant or something. You want to put some local love on your walls and stuff.
Or
grabbing
if you
some of
want
these
to
jerseys,
be fun and have your staff wear,
Yeah, make it Uniform Fridays. Everyone wears your Coyote or Goddard jerseys or whatever you
whoever's
got there.
playing home.
Yeah.
Wear their jerseys.
Yeah, you got enough of them.
Yeah. Starting on the 21st only, all Halloween will become half off.
All right. 21st only.
21st
Here
only.
in a couple days.
Yep. And then... is
that Saturday?
That is Saturday.
Okay.
And then the following Saturday, the 28th, right before Halloween, all Halloween will be 75% off, and there's going to be a spooky bake sale.
Nice. Ooh. You know what that means?
I will not be in town for that one.
But there's going to be brownies and...
There's going to be brownies.
Cupcakes?
Possibly.
All right.
I was told I needed to DoorDash...
pies? Any pies, maybe? Or pumpkin rolls?
It's probably going to be banana nut bread,
okay.
zucchini bread.
Oh, those are awesome.
Cookies, cupcakes, brownies. I was told I needed to DoorDash a delivery so that way I could still be participating in the bake sale. I was like, I'm going to be in Albuquerque. She's like, DoorDash it. I was like, Camille. And she's like, DoorDash it. I was like, I'll just leave you money and then you could do something. And she's like, no, DoorDash it. And I'm like, I'm not baking up there and sending it down here. No.
Yeah. And how long will you be gone before the event?
I will be coming back. I'm leaving Tuesday, the 24th, and then I will be coming back the 28th or 29th.
So if you made it before you left, it won't be fresh by Saturday. Yeah. Okay, no. That's what I was wondering. Like, when you leaving? Like, could we? Because like if it was Friday, maybe we could.
No, if it was Friday, I'd already,
Yeah, one day's fine. But
yeah,
5 days is a bit much.
Yeah. So.
Oh well. Oh.
I will persuade somebody to bake something and drop it off for
you're
me.
not the only person in the fold that can put out some good baked goods over there. They got some other people.
But I'm the one that can put it out quick like a factory.
Yeah. You've got the system down.
Yeah. And my husband, a good friend of ours, called me a tortilla factory because I made 4 dozen homemade tortillas in less than an hour.
Nice.
Oh, no, it was sucked.
I'm impressed.
My arms and shoulders hurt. I was like, I'm not doing this no more. But they're going to do the bake sale.
Good deal.
And then we're going to have Christmas for the Pets, which is going to be Friday, November 10th.
Okay.
And Saturday, November 11th.
And if you want to get pictures and do, like, make your greeting card.
I don't know if they're going to do the Santa anymore. The gentleman who used to do Santa his health hasn't been all that good. So I don't think they're going to do, like, they'll probably do a backdrop. So if you wanted to snap photos with your phone, you could.
Make a festive thing for that. We can make a better backdrop for you.
But there will be a bake sale then as well on the 11th.
And you're around for that one.
I will be around for that one.
All the crystal fairs will be at that one.
Yes. If you are needing bookshelves, the thrift store has a few of them.
Okay.
Also, if you are wanting to keep winter weight off, they have a elliptical.
Okay.
And then they have weights.
Nice. Like free weight set, too.
Yeah.
So if you like the old school free weights.
Yeah. They have a lot of little exercise equipment that's been donated recently. There's one, like, you put your feet on it, and then you just do the whole side-to-side thing. And I'm like, I'm not balanced enough to stand on that and not fall without a stick to hold on to.
Yeah.
They have a lot of little, just random exercise stuff.
Okay.
So
if
you don't want to pay the thousands of dollars for an elliptical brand new.
Yeah.
I think she has this one for $350.
So you want to create a home gym and not break the bank doing it, you could probably do it for a third of what it would cost new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then if you catch them on half price back sale in the room.
And you know it's exercise equipment. It was probably used 3 times and then hung clothes on it or something. You know what I mean? So it probably works.
Do we want to talk about exercise equipment? So my sister had this thing, and it's called a Gazelle. And my husband said, "What are you doing with it?" And she said, "Nothing." And he's like, "Can I borrow it?" She goes, "You can have it." So brought it home. It's in the front room. He's got on it once.
Nice. Yeah. That's us. Do you have, like, shirts hanging off of it? Like
No. It's
depending on the room it's in.
It's in the front room.
Yeah. So probably not so much longer.
So, you could put it right there and you could, like, watch
if that bad boy's in the bedroom
or whatever.
That bad boy's in the bedroom, they'd be hanging clothes on
if it was in the bedroom, it'd have, it'd have my Whoopee blanket hanging on it.
Location. But
yeah. So.
But if you need some and you want to do that.
If you need anything.
Yeah.
They have a ton of other stuff there. They always have a lot of kitchenware. They always have a lot of purses, wallets, shoes galore.
If you're
clothing.
a young professional that's just getting out and you're like, oh man, I've got a real job now. I need dresses. I need suits. I need business clothing. Don't go buy that brand new.
No.
Go to the thrift store. Get your whole week's worth of wardrobes for probably the cost of one outfit, and then maybe less. And
I think she had a couple of 3-piece men's suits.
Okay.
That I think she had like $50 on.
Yeah, you know how much those cost new? Hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
So
some into the thousands.
Yeah, depending on if you put Armani or some of the higher, you're thousands. But even if you're just rolling down to the J.C. Penney's for a suit, you're dropping $500-$600 on a suit. Yeah,
so
it's not cheap.
They do get them in a lot. They always have a lot of dress slacks in. They have like a lot of button-up shirts, polo shirts. For women, they have like the professional bust. I don't know what those shirts are called, the buff shirts or something.
Okay.
But they always have a lot of that stuff. So instead of spending, way too much money that you could be saving.
Yeah, because then your first paycheck, you spend hundreds of dollars just buying the clothes for your job.
Right.
Go down there, you probably buy your whole week's worth of wardrobe for like $100.
Or you could get like 2 weeks worth, so you don't have to do laundry every week, and then you could have, mix-ups.
And then set your, and then you can mix and match and create and do everything and check back often. Come back every few weeks to be like, oh, they just got some new dress shirts in. Let's pick them up. Oh, some slacks are in. I'll grab a couple of pair. And they're all, especially for guys, they're all pretty much this, black, blue, brown. You just... guys, we're kind of.
They even get those funny plaid men's
ones
in.
The more attention-seeking type suits and things like that.
Yes. I was like, oh, wow. I would not, but oh, wow.
Right. That's your thing. I just saw the time. We better wrap this
Oh.
up.
We're going to roll over into the 9:15 hour, too.
We don't want to do that. They get mad when I do that. So. But please, come down to the thrift store. Like you said, Halloween sale this Saturday and next. Saturdays only. The 21st only and the 28th only. Exclusive Halloween sales. However, if today's your day you're coming to shop, you're going to save a ton of money. Go in there.
Yes, and today's Wednesday, first day open, brand new, everything out of the chute.
That's right, it's new stuff. And don't forget, every dime you spend in that store goes back to these animals, goes back to the Humane Society, making sure that we can continue to find homes for these animals as long as needed. So, good deal. Give the hours and everything for folks.
Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 12 and 1 to 4:30 is for the kennels.
Yes.
The thrift store is Wednesday through Saturday, and it is 10 to 4:30. If you need items picked up, call ahead of time.
Okay.
Schedule it. They'll go out. They'll pick it up.
Yes. Please don't just drop it off.
Yeah. Please, we're trying to refrain from a lot of theft.
Yeah.
And we have a lot more happening.
Theft and vandalism.
Even while we're open, and we have to leave the back garage door open to monitor because people are trying to steal stuff that people are walking up to donate. They're like, oh, I'll take that. And they're trying to take it out of their hands.
Yeah. It's
bad. Getting bad.
So please call. Let's make arrangements and do all that. And they're located on East McGaffey there.
703 is the kennels and 701 is the thrift store.
They're right next door to each other. And if you don't see an animal that resonate with you, animal control is right next door to them. Walk right in that building and take a look. It doesn't matter which building the animal comes out of.
You're saving a life.
You're rescuing a pet. That's a good thing. So good deal. Well, thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
We will see you next time.
Yes.
All right, 8:57. Let's take a quick break before news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
And dress for success. Join us October 19th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and give back to your community through dedicated service in state government. We hope to see you there. For more information, contact your local New Mexico Workforce Connection office.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Egypt has agreed to allow 20 truckloads of aid to cross its border into Gaza to help ease a dire humanitarian situation. President Biden back in the U.S. following his one-day visit to Israel, marred by the deadly explosion outside a Gaza hospital.
President Biden said Israel had been, as he put it, badly victimized, but added that he'd been blunt with Benjamin Netanyahu about the need to avoid being consumed by rage. His visit to Israel was overshadowed by Tuesday's explosion, prompting Arab leaders to cancel scheduled summit talks with the U.S. in Amman. Mr. Biden also said his administration supported Israel's contention that it was not to blame for the hospital blast, which has prompted angry protests throughout the region.
The BBC's David Willis. There have been protests in the U.S. as well, including on Capitol Hill. Hundreds of demonstrators took over the Cannon House office building, the demonstrators demanding a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. There were many arrests. This evening, President Biden will address the nation from the White House. A second vote, and House Republicans have still not managed to elect a new Speaker of the House.
People have to put aside their own parochial interests for the good of the team here. And right now, it just doesn't seem like people are willing to do that.
Congressman Mike Gallagher on the Salem Radio Network. GOP Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio is the nominee, and another vote is expected later today. One Marine is dead, another Marine in custody, and what authorities at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, describe as a homicide last night in a barracks room. No further details. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 2 points, the Nasdaq trading 24 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Russia's top diplomat visiting North Korea following reports of a weapons transfer. The BBC's Jean McKenzie is in Seoul, South Korea.
As the Russian foreign minister arrived in Pyongyang, he was greeted by large crowds in the pouring rain, some waving flowers. Mr. Lavrov said his trip was an opportunity to discuss the arrangements agreed between Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un when they met in Russia last month, though he didn't specify what these were. The United States believes Mr. Kim has agreed to supply Russia with ammunition and artillery for its war in Ukraine, and says the transfer of weapons has already begun.
European Union interior ministers are debating how to manage the impact of the war between Israel and Hamas on the bloc. Today's meeting comes one day after a firebombing of a Berlin synagogue, as well as recent killings in Belgium and France by suspected Islamic terrorists. News and analysis, townhall.com. Amazon's pioneering a new way to deliver prescription drugs.
The e-commerce giant will become the latest company to test drone deliveries. Customers in College Station, Texas, can now get prescriptions delivered by drone within an hour of placing their order. The drone is programmed to fly from a delivery center with a secure pharmacy. It will travel to the customer's address, descend to about 13 feet, and drop a padded package. Other companies that have tested prescription drone deliveries include CVS Health. John Scott reporting.
A Russian-American journalist working for U.S. government-funded Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, has been detained in Russia and has been charged with failing to register as a foreign agent. Alsu Karmashiva is the second U.S. journalist to be detained in Russia this year. He could be sentenced to up to 5 years in prison if convicted. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope your Thursday's going well.
Oh, yeah.
What?
No,
oh, you had a look of confusion.
No, exhaustion. I had to get my son to school, so it's being in 3 places.
Oh, so you were like running. I thought you were just in the other room.
No, I had to run to pick up my son, to take him to school, and then get him to the drop off on time because it's 10 till 8. Rush back, get my break in for the country station, and then get over here.
Nice. Well, You pulled it off.
3 places at once, everybody.
Yeah, back to that Harry Potter timey thing.
That's right. I could use a time turner right about now. And you know what I could use? One of these things.
Yeah. Mail.
Like, hey, you showed the thing.
That was mail. We get those from time.
Adjusts tinfoil hat.
We get unusual mail from time to time.
I'll be honest with you. I got the package and left it in here. I didn't want to open it because I wasn't sure if there was like strange white powder in it.
Yeah, and I saw it there and I forgot about it. And then the other day was like, hey, what's this important? I was like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to check what that is. And I was like, I bet it's either a manifesto or talking about a community event. And it was the former, not the latter.
We've definitely gotten a lot of those.
This one was all pictures, though.
It's all pictures, yeah.
So, but
time is running out.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure what side they're on.
I'm not really sure what they're trying to say with it, really. It just said learn to wait. I'm like...
Yeah, that was a little puzzler.
Waiting is like all I do now.
Yeah, that one's Riddler-esque.
Yeah, it is.
So, anyway, we get that from time to time. Hey, I do want to remind folks tonight, whoa, is the Roswell Refuge Remember My Name Candlelight Vigil. The month of October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and every year for many, many years now, the Roswell Refuge has had their Candlelight Vigil event during the month of October during Domestic Violence Awareness Month. That event is tonight at the Anderson Museum, which is on College, 409 East College, if you're not familiar. The event will take place this evening, beginning at 5:30 p.m., will last till about 7. And come in and join us. Survivors will come. Some will share their stories. Other victims, folks we lost to domestic violence, we celebrate. There'll be the slideshow and remembrance of them. I ain't going to lie, bring some tissues, but bring your laughter, too, because it's all of the above.
Yep.
It's fun as far as the stories and the laughter. That side's fun. It's obviously sad as we remember those we've lost. A little bit of anger as you hear the stories and hear what took place. And it's a whole roller coaster of emotions. But it is so important that we remember and make aware that we need to get domestic violence out of the shadows.
Absolutely.
So, if you have any questions about the event, don't hesitate to call the refuge at their office. Don't call the crisis hotline. Call their office, 575-624-3222. Again, 575-624-3222. You can also visit roswellrefuge.org for information about the Roswell Refuge and what they do for victims of domestic violence. And don't forget, they have a 24/7 crisis hotline. If you are wanting to break away from that situation or talk or a victim, or maybe you think something's going on and don't know how to handle it, call the 24/7 crisis hotline, 575-627-8361, and they will help you any time of day or night on that number there, too.
Indeed.
Don't forget, Got It Rocket fans, if you'd like to purchase tickets to the big game tomorrow night at the Bulldog, the Bulldog Bowl. I get my bowls. I start saying them, then I'm like, did I say the right bowl? Yeah, I did. All right. But tomorrow night, the Got It Rockets are going to be at the Bulldog Bowl taking on Artesia. For fans, if you'd like to purchase advance tickets, Goddard fans can pre-purchase. I guess you're just purchasing. You're not pre-purchasing. You purchase advance tickets for the game at Purple Pass. Search for the Artesia Goddard football game or Artesia High School, and there will be a special gate for the pre-purchase holders they can use for faster entry into the stadium tomorrow night. Use the gate just north of the main gate on the east side of the stadium. So you go through that gate, and that will be the prepaid ticket gate. We have a link on our Roswell Talk FM Facebook page, the purple for the Purple Pass, where you can go and click that link and purchase, or in the case of my text here, pre-purchase. I don't think that's a thing. You're either purchasing it or not purchasing it. But, we like to put prefixes in places where they don't always need them. But anyway, you can get that there. We have a link on our Facebook wall there on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall. So, and, of course, if you can't make it out to the Bulldog Bowl tomorrow night, we will have the Goddard Artesia matchup for you. The Goddard Perspective on our sister station, 106.1 FM Fiero, and live streaming video, the Goddard Perspective, KSVPTV.com, and the Goddard Rocket Football Channel.
Same video, just different audio.
Yeah, we'll have the Chris's.
Because we don't have different sides of the bowl this
Yeah,
time.
we're going to be sharing the cameras. So if you look at the Artesia camera feed or the Roswell camera feed, the video will be the same. What's different is if you watch the Artesia feed, it'll be Joby calling the game, and then we'll have the Chris's calling the game for you on the Goddard side. So that is the plan for tomorrow night. But if you want to go to the game, go to that Purple Pass link on our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall. Or you can go to the KSVP one or any of ours.
Yeah.
They're all there.
We got you covered.
Yeah.
I've been waiting a couple days to mention this, but they put out the lineup for season 2 of The Dark Side of Comedy.
Yes, you teased it yesterday.
It is amazing. I am so excited for this season. This is the lineup they have.
Okay.
I went back and paused it and took a picture because I'm so excited. Tracy Morgan is the first episode, which I think was the one this week.
That's a lot of story.
That's a lot of story. That's the whole Walmart thing, the truck crash.
The limo, or where was he in a limo?
I think it was in a limo, yeah. Next week, Ellen.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot there, too.
There's a whole lot there.
Especially in the most recent years with the show and everything, yeah.
Robin Williams.
Yeah, there's...
Joan Rivers.
Oh, yeah.
Carlos Mencia.
Wow, yeah.
That's going to be a great one. Sam Kinison is the week after that. Right?
Yeah.
That's going to be amazing.
And the irony of Sam Kinison, the irony of Sam Kinison was, he was dealing with substance abuse and all that. He finally cleaned himself up.
Just turned his life around.
And he got hit by a drunk driver.
Yep.
Driving to Vegas or something.
Norm Macdonald is the next week.
Oh.
Right? I mean, that's
a lot of good stuff.
That's a lot of Gilda Radner is the week after.
Yeah, with her cancer and everything. Yeah.
Phil Hartman.
Oh yeah. Well, obviously how he was killed definitely creates, because that one was out of left field.
Completely.
Yeah, it was.
And then the final episode of the season, Family Matters.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude.
Interesting.
I've done some deep dive on Family Matters. That was behind the scenes. That was a nightmare. Did you know they actually changed out the character who played or the actress that played Harriet for the last half of the last season?
Really?
It was just a completely different person, and they never referenced it.
That's kind of like soap operas.
It's
they do that. That's the role of Tara today will be by.
But it was like for the whole last half of the last season, it was just some other Harriet. It was very off-putting.
Yeah. Well, there's a history of TV shows that do, like Bewitched. They just popped out.
Well, the original Harriet had a serious problem with Jaleel White, the guy who played Urkel.
Okay, and obviously he was the star of the show.
It went.
He
to
ain't going
head.
anywhere.
It definitely went to his head.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
that's going to be an amazing season.
Yeah, that would be. But that whole Urkel thing, because he was so typecast in that role that even to this day. Could he get a gig that's not Urkel related?
Well, if you remember the Stefan Urkel, he was able to kind of pull off that suave. He's got that look about him.
Yeah,
he's got that ability, but we've just known him for too long as Urkel.
Ingrained in Urkel that you cannot not see him as Urkel. I mean, I got to be honest. Daniel Radcliffe. I mean, he pulled off the Weird Al,
yes.
but. I cannot not see him as anything on Harry Potter.
It's true. It's real. It's a hard sell. But he at least in the fairness in the case of Jaleel White, at least he leans into it with the whole purple.
Sure, embraces a
Urkel.
little bit.
He's got his own weed strain.
At this point, that's his gravy train.
Better or
the Urkel train is his gravy train. So, you better embrace it, or you're going to be finding another job. So anyway, but interesting. Yeah, I kind of want to see some of those. I definitely want to see. The Sam Kinison
Sam Kinison and Robin Williams are two that are very.
I was a huge fan of Sam. Like that was like my guy. Like if you would have asked me in that time and all that, who's your favorite? I'm like Sam Kinison. That man could make you laugh, and he said, to this day, his bits are still the best. Like I will watch that whole Sam Kinison special where he's talking about the move where the food is and the whole second coming of Jesus. That stand up special. I'll still put up as a top 5 of all time specials.
I could agree with that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of really good ones from that era, but I could agree with it that Sam Kinison sort of set a standard.
Yeah, he created he just came in like in an era where you had guys like Eddie Murphy is the top of his game, and Richard Pryor and George Carlin, and those guys at that time I always the pinnacle. They were the, I guess you could say, the Kevin Hart of this.
And if you look at it, their acts very meticulous, very like cookie, like by their set up punchline. Everything.
And I feel like Sam kind of even went in there and just blew them away.
Yeah,
like he just said, "Oh yeah, hold my beer."
I'm just going to scream at you until you laugh.
And then you learn he's a former pastor, and you're like, "Whoa, he fell off the wagon as a pastor." And then,
did you ever see the biography? I think it was his brother that was talking about it. How his last words. He basically was looking up at the sky and said, "Why now?"
Well, and in all fairness too, this was my heyday of Howard Stern fandom, and Kennison was a regular / not regular on that show,
right?
You know, and matter of fact, he had a whole bit with he missed a gig and he blamed on bad Chinese food on Stern show, and this was in the high watermark of his drug and alcohol abuse and all that. But it was he was still, to me, as far as a comic goes, he was brilliant.
Absolutely.
Brilliant comic. So anyway, we got a full hour here, so we need to get going. We got joining us here in just a few minutes, we'll have Ward 2 City Councilor Juliana Halverson and Public Affairs Director Juanita Jennings join us from the city of Roswell here. We'll talk about some upcoming meetings and events, and also talk a little about the homeless situation too here, and just talk about what's up, we're going, what the public should be doing and dealing with here. So we'll have that conversation here in just a few minutes. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety. We'll try to work that Cowboys report in as well, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Not much going on over our region. We have high pressure in place and dry air, so no rain expected for a while. We'll be in the low to mid 80s for the afternoon high today. Lots of sunshine. Overnight looks clear with low 50s. Warming up a little bit on Friday with upper 80s and continued sunshine. Mix of sun and clouds on Saturday and Sunday. Highs close to 90. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 54 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 55%. Winds calm at the moment. 88 and sunny for today. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight with an overnight low of 51 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, high of 89 expected tomorrow. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear, mostly cloudy Friday night with an overnight low of 57. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy and 89 for a high on Saturday. Northwest winds 5 to 10. Sunny on Sunday with a high of 88. And then, believe it or not, Monday night into Tuesday, we are looking at rain chances. A 30% for Monday night and a 40% with highs only in the upper 70s on Tuesday. So maybe early next week we'll see some rain. Cross your fingers, do your rain dance, whatever you got to do. All right, it is 8:19. We're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then we'll talk with City Councilor Juliana Halverson, and also we'll have Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director, join us as well. Don't go away.
This October, Artesia General Hospital is here to help you take charge of your breast health. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer. Understanding your family history and getting screened can help lower your risk and lead to early detection. They're pleased to offer advanced 3D mammography, providing increased early detection, more accurate results, and enhanced comfort. Don't wait. Request your mammogram today. Women over 40 don't need a physician's referral to schedule their annual screening. Visit artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
The Fergalicious boys can keep you hot this winter. Fergalicious. Oh yeah, it's getting cold out there, and Fergie's Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep things hot in your home. They can come by and winterize your pipes and check your insulation, and you know they'll do it with nothing but love. Oh yeah, baby. Call the Fergalicious boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating at 622-2660. When you need it hot, Fergie's is on the job. Fergalicious.
I read a quote once that said, when you blame others, you give up your power to change. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
We all want to play the victim at times. It even feels good to feel sorry for ourselves. But that puts a lid on our life. It stunts our growth, it damages our marriages, and if you have children, it can even hurt them.
It can seem like a daunting task to take responsibility for our actions. But the Bible says in Philippians 4:13, we can do everything through Christ who gives us strength.
If you've never experienced the love of God, then you don't know your true potential and don't realize how good God is. When you're feeling like a victim, turn to God. He'll give you the strength to move beyond yourself and help you have a victorious marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
October is National Cooperative Month, and as a Central Valley Electric Cooperative member, you are much more than just a customer. You're a co-op owner. At CVE, we are here to power your life so you can do all the things you need to grow. We are better when we grow together. It's National Co-op Month, and CVE wants to thank our members for being the heart of the co-op. Thank you for being a co-op owner and a customer of Central Valley Electric Cooperative.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, of course, City Councilor representing Ward 2, Juliana Halverson.
Good morning.
Also, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell, Juanita Jennings, with us. Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
How's life at the city this morning?
Beautiful. It's a beautiful day.
Weat's nice.
As long as the
Things
wind
good.
doesn't blow, huh? Yeah.
Been busy. It seems like there's 20 events going on every weekend here, and of course, like to be honest, like Saturday when we had the solar eclipse and everything. Of course, the city had the science and arts fair. That was a huge success. But there was so many things going on Saturday. It's like, all right, let's spend a few minutes here, and then we're going to go down here to the Bloom and Boom event. We're going to go over here to the Los Pasitos thing. I mean, there was just so much going on this weekend. So if you're one of those folks that say, there's not much to do in this town, you are either smoking way too much crack or you just not leave your house. I don't know which one it is, but lots going on. That being said, we do have a couple other events coming up here in the coming days and weeks here that we want to put on people's radar. Big one is our community effort Saturday. This Saturday is we had, of course, Kathy would keep one of her hats as part of the Clean and Beautiful and Keep Roswell Beautiful. But this Saturday is the Community Cleanup Day. Now, we got a kind of a meet and gather event on Saturday morning. If you go out to Carpenter Park, which is the one with the other splash pad, if you're wondering. Yeah. Actually, the address is Buena Vista, 300 East Buena Vista, if you need to put it in your GPSs, all that. But Kathy and her staff will be out there from 8:30 to 10:30 and on Saturday morning, and they're going to be handing out bags and gloves and the little trash grabber things and stuff. So if you want to designate an area in your neighborhoods or parks or community around your area, then all you got to do is come, meet her between those 2 hours, get your bags, and tell her where you're going and what you're doing, and turn you loose to go clean. Now, if you want to get involved, but you're like, can you give me a spot? Go there. She'll give you all the stuff and say, hey, we got a park over here that could use some extra bodies to clean up. So if you don't have a spot but want a spot, she'll find you a spot. But if you got an area designated, or maybe your neighborhood got together and said, we're going to do our own little neighborhood cleanup, that's what Saturday's for. We want to encourage y'all to come and pick your spot in the city and clean up, do your thing, and let's get to fall cleaning. I know it's not spring, so we'll call it fall cleaning.
You do it twice a year. Yeah.
That's right. But and this is one of those things. Obviously, you guys represent the city. You do all these things as best to try to make our city, a great place to live. But city and government work can only do so much.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the people have to get out. If you want a great community, you want great things in this community, you got to get out and do that. You got to, at the very minimum, tell your leaders what you want so they can work on that kind of stuff. But the events like this it's a group effort. It's a team effort. The city's saying, hey, we understand. We want to clean this up. We want to do it. We're going to give you the resources best we can, and then we're going to let you pick the areas that you deem need the most attention in our city and turn you loose to do it.
And the ones I've been to, they actually have a lot of people, volunteers.
They have a fun with it.
And then they have businesses like Pioneer and Leprino. They have a huge volunteer organization.
Yeah.
They show
and they
up.
turn into a fun day.
Yeah.
Like they'll sometimes, make it a neighborhood cookout thing. Hey, make it a party. Clean up in the morning, then we're going to have a cookout or something.
Yeah.
Weather's going to be beautiful. So, maybe after you clean said park, have a cookout in it.
Yeah.
Invite the friends or whatever.
Yeah.
this is what this
Like
is
a block
the
party.
This is the community start. This is the part of Roswell that we all love and want to continue to embrace. You always have these moments where we hear a story of someone struggling in our community, and you always hear the community rise into the occasion to help and stuff. This is one of those kind of events. This is time for us to do our own housekeeping, so to speak, literally in this case. So please, if you've got time on Saturday, now, like you said, we don't have to clean between 8:30 and 10:30. That's just the day, the designated time where you can get the equipment to do so. So if you say, and it's all free, and we're not charging or anything. Just all.
Bags. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Trash bags, the clippers. She's also going to be giving out some promotional items. So
Okay.
reusable grocery bags.
She loves that stuff. I got
recycled coffee cups. They're made out of wheat. They're really kind of cool.
Kathy Lay is the king of free swag.
Yes.
Make no mistake, there is no one better than Kathy Lay at free swag.
It's all grant funded. Let's it's all grant funded,
And
which is
Excel
really
Energy
great.
bulbs too.
I was just Excel Energy will be giving out the light bulbs as
Good
well.
deal. Yeah, it's so you can get some free bulbs while you're out there, and of course, and then the great part of, now you're making a difference. You're cleaning up your neighborhood. You're getting that park, or you're just your neighborhood, whatever the alleys in your neighborhood, whatever it is. Let's clean it up and get that done and save because it's better for the city and everything else, and then it keeps code enforcement and everybody else off your back too, which is kind of nice.
Yes.
So this Saturday, 8:30 to 10:30, Carpenter Park. That's the meetup time. You don't have to bring the whole crew. All we really ask is you collect your stuff and then tell us or ask for a designated area because they want for statistic purposes and track how much was cleaned, how much. So I imagine she's going to ask you to report back how many bags you collected and all that, so we can tell.
I think she needs that for the grant.
For the grant they need that kind of
They
stuff.
weigh it, like the roll-off that they take. They weigh how much was actually put into the container.
So they probably have it taken to a designated spot or
and
something.
then she uses those statistics and that data to apply for the grant
Yeah,
funding,
so
which
we
is
get
really
more
great. And
stuff.
our grant funding, we were actually the other than Albuquerque, we were the largest grant that was awarded this year,
great.
which is really good.
Well, that's considering they have about 4 times the amount of people we do. That's pretty great.
Yeah, really awesome. Really awesome. We were the smallest community, I would say,
That's
of our
great.
size.
That's great. Well, and that's something that Roswell's never had a problem with. I mean, when it comes to rallying the troops and helping each other out, Roswell's
Pretty
second to
awesome.
none with that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. We
I
really
agree.
are. We may not all agree on how to get things done, but we all agree that we want to get something done.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
that being said, is there other events that we want to definitely put on people's radar before we change gears here a little bit?
Can we? Yeah, we can. Well, let's switch it up. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about Dia de los Muertos, and then we'll kick
the
it off.
library
to
event.
The library event, yes.
Yeah.
So Saturday, the 28th of October at 10 a.m., they're having their Dia de los Muertos event. It's really about education on the culture. There's going to be different stations for people to participate in. So they'll have the flower like headpieces.
Yeah, I think they're doing the
gonna
sugar
have
skulls.
Sugar
Yeah.
skulls. They're going to have what they call the ofrenda, the altar, to remember those that are have moved on. They'll have like an educational lecture. It's not a mass, but they're going to have Father Lalo come and do a service.
Okay.
And so it's at 10 o'clock.
And they usually do like the story of La Llorona, which is the reason why we celebrate Dia de, like that whole story of. Now I might be
didn't know
butchering
that.
the name. Well, that's
Really?
I was talking and they said, there's a whole the lecture and all that. It's something to do with La Llorona.
La
and,
Llorona.
Yeah, and I might be butchering the pronunciation. My gringo's kicking in a little bit here. I apologize, but it is it's the story, and once you know the story, it's a beautiful story, and it's just like, oh, now it explains the sugar skull, all the things that the crafts and stuff. Oh, so when you turn it, and it's celebrated right around Halloween.
Yeah.
It's kind of a version of Halloween, but
Sure.
but there's a lot of pageantry and history behind all of that.
Yeah.
So that's why I love that library event. They do it every year, and they usually have, and I think there's one lady that tells the story every year, and that's happening again this year. I love that.
Yes.
That part that's the part because it. As a guy that didn't grow up here, and like when you see Zozobra, the burning of Zozobra the first time, I was like, wow. And then when you learn the culture behind it, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. Dia de los Muertos is one that's like, whoa, the skulls and everything. Like, it's kind of creepy. And then then you hear the story behind it.
Right.
Like, Oh, okay. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
I think some people are like, what? Yeah, like, what is that? It's part of the culture.
But it is good to tell the story.
Yes. Yeah. And they're going to have Asi Baila is going to be there. They're going to do a really nice dance and just a really great time. There'll be arts and crafts. Kids can make and take stuff. And then, of course, get your library card if you don't have it. But it should be a really great event starting at 10 o'clock. It's completely free, October 28th.
And it's a kind of I think they usually are come and go, so if you can't quite be there at 10, no biggie, come on a little bit.
It's like 10 to 1.
Yeah.
So.
And you can, because they do like the make and take stuff. So now if you want to do everything, you want to allow yourself at least an hour or two to do all that. So if you show up towards 1, pick your favorite and do it because you're not going to be able to do it all.
Yes. And if you go to our website, it's on roswell-nm.gov, which is our government site, or it's on the Roswell Library Facebook page. There's actually a schedule of events at what time they're going to be doing each of the stations. But if you come anytime, you can just kind of hop into one of them.
Yeah.
And then the other event that we have coming up of Halloween, and then we'll kick it on over to Councilor Halverson, is the Fall Festival.
Yes, the annual Fall Festival that the city hosts and puts together here. That will be happening
October 31st.
Yeah, Halloween.
It'll start at 4 o'clock. It's at the Convention Center this year. We'll be using the Convention Center parking lot that's between the museum and the Convention Center, the courtyard at the Convention Center, and then, of course, inside the Convention Center. The doors to the inside of the Convention Center for the event won't open until about 5:30, but there's going to be plenty of things for people to do between 4 and 5:30.
You're not going to be bored for the hour and a half that you're in the parking lot.
Definitely not. Our SWAT truck will be out there, fire department, sheriff's office, RPD.
Tons of candy, I'm sure.
Games, candy, trinkets, lots of fun.
Get them all sugared up before they start.
If you can't find candy, you weren't looking.
Yes. So come on out. It's a free event. And then last entry will be at 7:30.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind.
So if you're plotting and planning the various fall festivals and trunk or treats that'll be going on that night,
And you're asking for volunteers and donations of candy. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, if you'd like to, you can. Where's the best way to just drop it off at City Hall?
You can drop it off at City Hall. You can drop it off at any of our public buildings, and they'll get it over to Public Affairs.
Good deal. So
we'll
imagine if you go to the convention center and say, here's a big bag of candy, they'll make sure it gets to Juanita here.
It is expensive.
We bought some for a trunk or treat. It's like $20 a bag.
Yeah, well, everything's so expensive nowadays.
When we went to Sam's to go buy it,
crazy.
We had 3 carts, and we're thinking, oh, this is going to be great. And it was a lot of money, let's just say. And it didn't feel like a lot of candy.
Right.
And even our coordinator, she broke down the math, and it's like, okay, how many pieces can we give to each kid? So that's why we need some donation of
so
candy.
Please, if you have extra candy, I know a lot of organizations are asking for it, but if you can pick an extra bag or 2 up for the fall festival, drop it off at City Hall or the convention center.
We bought some for the Joy Center trunk or treat.
Yeah.
And we were like you were like, oh my God.
Yeah. And the sheriff's good at collecting candy too, so sometimes he's good at getting everybody's candy donations.
Yeah,
so
he did
it is
offer
a competition.
at our meeting. He said, we'll get some in Eastern New Mexico Medical Center and Eastern University Roswell. They are our sponsors, and so they've contributed.
They're helping out.
Yes, as well. And so we're really great and fortunate to have that. But yes, if you'd like to donate or
pick
come
up a
volunteer,
bag of, pick your favorite. If you're always like, they never have Reese's, fine, then bring a bag of Reese's.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like Smarties. Okay. Bring your Smarties.
Bring some Smarties.
But that will be Halloween, that 31st there.
Yes.
Like I said, about 4:30 everything, or 4 o'clock everything will be getting underway there at the convention
But the doors
center.
Doors open at 5:30.
5:30 officially is when the doors.
5:30 to 7:30.
Yeah.
So.
And then 7:30 everything's
shutting
done for the night. Everyone turns into a pumpkin.
Yes, because
I know
kids
it's a
have
different
school,
reference,
right? The next day, I think, or they
What day is the 31st?
I think they're off.
31st like a Monday or something.
I think it's Tuesday.
A Tuesday. There you go.
They're off the Wednesday?
I think so.
Or usually it's a half day for like the early elementary and all that. So I don't know. I have to look.
Yeah.
I got to ask my wife. I don't know. She's in charge of the school schedule.
Yeah, I'm always surprised because we do the trick-or-treating at the house,
Yeah.
We shut down at 8.
Right.
Yeah.
There's people there at 10 with little kids, and you're like, they should be at home in bed.
Yeah.
I live in one of those neighborhoods where no one visits. I get.
we have a lot.
I buy candy.
We have a lot in
I buy
ours.
candy and I eat the candy. That's what happens.
Yes.
But that is the 31st here. Yes. Put that on your calendars, and like I said, don't forget this Saturday is the citywide community cleanup day. From 8:30 to 10:30, meet at Carpenter Park to get your supplies and get your spot to clean up, and then the rest of the day or weekend really is up to you to do your cleaning up. So, yeah. Now that being said, we also want to talk about some other events and things and issues coming up here. Obviously, one big topic. It's a hot button topic. You want to hit Roswell's hot button topic. This is it today. It is our homeless effort, and we all know it's getting worse here in this community. We hear the stories of Albuquerque shipping their homeless to us, and you hear all of the different things going on in the media and in the in different things. A lot of people have different opinions on things here, and we just kind of want to air some of that. There's been meetings, and there's going to be more meetings that are coming up to discuss this home, to let the public and the city representation sit and let's hammer this out, because I think we all agree we don't want to be, to just ignore it. But at the same time, where's the balance? Where do we do to help versus support versus, hey, you're straining our resources and straining our and our own public safety's at risk here. How do we balance that?
Well, and a lot of people need to realize too, there's anti-donation. I mean, you can't give things to a select group and not to others.
Sure, right? Because you want this is all fair and balanced. This is unfortunately, people in the past history have done shady stuff that. Because a lot of time we get it. 99% of people want to just help and do good and do that. But unfortunately,
that's where we're running into a problem. So this meeting we're having, it's on Tuesday.
Yes.
At 4:00 at the rec center.
Yes.
It's mostly just an informative, not hash out how we're going to fix the problem, because we've had several meetings already. And this is just to let the public know what they can do to help.
Gotcha.
Help.
Kind of like the city's policy on some of what we recommend, what we think would be best for all parties involved.
Because we have a great community and people want to help. The problem is when they think they're helping, they're really not.
Right, and that's just it. It's unfortunate that, and this is something like we've heard the PSAs and things, and obviously you see homeless on a lot of street corners around our city, panhandling, things like that, and you feel bad and you want to help, but that unfortunately is not the way to help them.
Exactly.
It's one of those. It's a safety risk for everybody, them and two. I mean, let's face it. Especially if you're on Main Street, pretty busy, and you're standing around walking in the middle of there's already enough distractions out there. I mean, that is a safety hazard. It is at the end of the day for the person standing in the middle and we the drivers. But also at the same time, it's and this is where because 90. I'm just throwing a number out. I don't know the exact number, but the majority of these folks that are homeless are dealing with mental health issues. They just didn't wake up one day and say, I don't want to live in a house anymore, and decided to get their can of beans and their whatever, the image here. There's a series of things, or some of these folks are homeless, but they're defined homeless, but they live couch to couch. You know what I mean? There's many different versions of homeless out there.
Yeah.
And
most of the ones you encounter on the street, though, are people that have the mental.
Sure, they for whatever reason they don't embrace society.
Yeah,
their mental health has caused them to isolate or to separate, and unfortunately, it puts you in a dangerous position. They and I'm not and this is the part where we all got, because you're like, well, then you got to keep helping and this and that, and it's like. Yes and no. I mean, sure, if they're trying to be on the path, but let's face it, you giving someone $1 to someone who's probably addicted to drugs and alcohol, they're not spending it to better their lives.
Yeah.
They're spending it to feed their addiction, to medicate whatever they're dealing with here, and that's their death sentence.
And what I'm working on is a short-term solution.
Mm-hmm.
Counselor Arnold, Commissioner Dana, and Dan Jennings, they've been working on more of a long-term solution. So what this meeting's about is just what can you do short-term?
Sure.
Because you giving them money or food,
it's
not helping them. You need to give to the organization.
That's where we want to say, if you really have the desire and you see the people, and I know a lot of us probably feel that way.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is these private and work with the city too, organizations, your Harvest Ministries, your Helping Hands.
Yeah.
These organizations and organizations like them, your churches, they have people that have been trained, they have the skill set, they have relationships out there.
That's the biggest thing, is a relationship. They know what these people need,
And so if you really want to help, support those communities, those organizations, whether it's monetarily or volunteering.
Yeah.
If you really want to be, nuts and bolts, boots on the ground, I want to help the homeless folks, talk to Harvest Ministries, talk to Helping Hands. Talk to these organizations.
Coalition, the Community Kitchen, they're
Homeless
always
Coalition,
taking,
yes. Talk to all these organizations and say, what can I do to get involved? And they will tell you, and they will love you for coming and helping. That's how you make a difference. Unfortunately, your heart's in the right place by giving them $1, but you're not doing anything to benefit the situation for anybody.
Exactly.
You're encouraging more of the same, and at the end of the day, you're putting another nail in that person's coffin as they're going to use that dollar for their drug, whatever their vice is.
Yeah, and these organizations, they can get grants or financial support that the city can't get, to help help the homeless. And most of them, they're fine, but there's several out there that we've had issues with them being violent.
Sure.
If you've they had one issue, where the girl gave to one guy one day, and the next day she saw him, and he started harassing her because he wanted her to give her more money.
You're expected now to
exactly.
pay tribute or whatever
and if you
he looks at
then
it.
now you're being threatened, and so
and that's what we want to avoid. We don't want people that just want to help getting abused or hurt because of this.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people will take advantage of a good heart in this. That's human nature. It's one of these things, and we want the best, but we
and like you mentioned earlier, our community, they want to help.
Absolutely. And so let's put that in the right way. Let's you know what? Let's get to the point where the Homeless Coalition and Helping Hands and Harvest Ministry, like, dude, we have so many volunteers and so many resources. We're able to do that. If you want to get involved, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Support that way. And then obviously work with the city officials and say, hey, we're trying to do this. And I guarantee your city council, if you're coming to them with plans that are real things, they're going to work with you and they're going to say, I like that. The government can't get too involved in paying for this kind of stuff. But what they can do is open the doors for people that are really doing that kind of thing.
I know Chief Bateman's been talking, trying to get case law and stuff, because the problem that we have is that we can't impose a panhandling ordinance. It's against case law. We can't do that. But if they're in the street, like you were saying, that becomes illegal.
Sure.
And people need to call the police if they have a problem or if they feel unsafe.
Yeah.
They're afraid to because they feel bad for the person. But the safety of the community is important.
Absolutely.
And I'm not trying to put all the homeless people in, they're all bad.
Sure.
Because they're not. And the ones that have issues, they need help.
Sure.
So you do need to call the police
if
there's a problem. To get them the help they need.
Sure. Well, it's no different than anything else in the world. It's, not everybody's bad, but there's a few bad apples in a group that makes it, put everybody on there.
Yeah, you don't want to stereotype.
And homeless is one of those situations. And there's some people that want to be homeless and they live their life and they're happy and they're fine. And quite frankly, God bless them. If that's what they want to do. Yeah. So be it. But when it gets to a point where
you feel unsafe,
where you can't take your family to a park because you're worried about people doing things there or doing whatever, or that's a problem. None of us want that. We want to go and be able to take our family to the park, or take our family to the zoo, or take our family to any shopping center in town here, and not worry about being harassed, accosted, or beaten up or worse. We don't want any of that. And unfortunately, we live in a world where, and this is not just Roswell's problem, this is Earth's problem.
It's getting worse.
We're dealing with mental health issues that are really getting pandemic levels.
Yeah, there's nowhere to send them for help.
Exactly.
New Mexico doesn't have any facilities.
So how do we do it with a heart?
Yeah, that's the
without burning
the
ourselves.
resolution that Councilor Arnold and Dan Jennings and Commissioner Dana are trying to work on.
And so I know this is a very polarizing issue. I mean, people are passionate about it, as they should. It's a tough issue.
Yeah.
But I think we're all actually closer together than we think. I mean, we just need to understand we got to do it while protecting the citizens as well, too. Like when we, talking about the various entities to provide shelters and homes for the homeless folks, and people like, the not in my backyard mindset and all that. And I get some of that. But I think we can figure that out. I mean, the way I look at it, I grew up in D.C., Maryland, where land's a premium. Everybody's stacked up on each other.
There.
We live in the desert. There is all kinds of land. We can figure something out somewhere,
the problem is the government's got to stay out of it.
Exactly.
Because, I don't know. John Stossel, the reporter, he's done it. When the hurricanes hit.
Yeah.
He showed how when the government got involved, houses were not replaced.
Sure.
But when you got private entities like these organizations, then the help actually happens.
Well, that's where the support stays. Yeah. And this is the honest truth when it comes to politics and things. The whims of the city council are only the whims of the 10 city councilors sitting there.
And then they change
When they change, they may not have the same support for those things that
Yeah.
the other city council did.
Yeah.
Therefore, where's the funding going? Where's the thing going? Therefore, it's always best for these private organizations, your Helping Hands, your homeless coalitions, your refuge, all the different people that support and do things for our community, to come to city council and say, hey, we got a proposition, we want to do this, we need the city to help us with ordinance this or grant money this or change the ordinance to allow us to do this, that's where the city can come in and say, we can support you that way.
Yeah.
We'll come in and we'll provide the logistics to help you get it done. But at the end of the day, the private sector needs to be the ones running the day-to-day operations, planning whatever's going on there, because long after the 10 people sitting on city council are no longer doing their thing, your organization should be doing its thing
But
still.
first and foremost is the public safety.
Yes.
Our downtown businesses shouldn't be afraid to open their doors, in the morning, which they are now because there's a problem. And the police are doing the best they can, but they are also, their hands are tied too by the,
Absolutely.
by case law.
Absolutely.
It's not illegal to be homeless. It's not illegal to be walking down Main Street. When you start harassing people,
that's when the illegalities come in, and that's just it. And so, and that's just, and most of the time when you're dealing with mental health, people with mental health issues.
And then there's nowhere for them to go.
And to be honest, they're fighting a different battle than probably you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they're going after you, but whatever.
Yeah.
They thinking it's whatever their demon is.
Yeah.
And so that's the problem here, and we as civilians aren't equipped, nor should we be, to deal with that kind of stuff. And law enforcement, obviously they do the best they can with it, but like you said, their hands are tied too.
Yeah.
There's only so many places we can find
when they get
to help
arrested, they
them.
get out because they're not competent. And I don't know the numbers. Maybe the Homeless Coalition may or something, but the majority of the homeless aren't a problem. It's the few. And the police know the ones that are the problems.
Well, and that's just it. I know we've had the sheriff and police on many times, and they talk about, there's, we have relationships. There's a hierarchy when you get down into some of these homeless camps and things, and it has its government of its own, and you have to know how to manipulate and work that system too. And
they don't like each other.
And you and I don't none of that, but guess who does?
Yeah.
The Homeless Coalition, the Sheriff's Department, the Roswell Police Department, the Helping Hands, the people that actually are there day in and day out, talking, created a familiarity, created something that they are familiar with, and basically they're the in.
Yeah.
They've built a trust where we have not.
Yeah.
And we don't trust, obviously, the people here, and that's different with these organizations and the Sheriff's Department. So if you want to help, go through that where we have the in, through these organizations.
And a lot of them, they don't call the police. But if you feel unsafe, call the police.
Absolutely.
If they're just sitting there and not doing anything, there's no need to call the police.
Do your thing while they do their thing. But if they're a problem, if they're harassing people, if they're fighting, if they're creating a safety issue,
then call the police.
Then
a lot of people
it.
don't, but they need to.
Just like you would with any person, whether they had a home or not. It doesn't matter. If you saw anyone in the street doing what they're doing, you call the police.
It may take them a while to get there or something because they have other, but do it.
Sure.
And
obviously the state of the emergency will expedite the response of the law enforcement. Obviously, if it's just hanging out, they'll get there. But if there's physically people in danger, they'll show up a lot quicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But if he's just walking around being a nuisance, then we'll get to it. But and then likewise, be your own protection for your family and things. If if you see things that don't look right, avoid that side. Use instinctual things to not put yourself in those scenarios as well too. I get it. Sometimes it can't be avoided. You're at a traffic light. You're at a traffic light. It is what it is. But if you're walking down the street and you see something going up there, maybe
just cross the street.
Cross the street or find another route to kind of avoid that little shenanigans going on over there. Yeah. That's where you got to get. We the people need to get a little street smart too. Just don't assume. Not everyone has your best interest at heart. If you can kind of go and do that, then you might protect yourself a little bit.
And with the economy the way it is, I won't get into politics, but I don't see it improving
No.
And
it's
so
not.
the homeless problem is getting worse nationwide.
And to be honest, I attribute the homeless problem to a bigger than, like, we need to, and I say this, and I've said it with you two in the room, we need to Susan G. Komen mental health.
Yeah.
And we need to have ribbons and walks and raise bazillions of dollars for mental health.
Yeah.
And the rest of these problems will start to fade away.
Well, and
the
I've been
mental
talking
health,
to Representative Nybert and Candy Azell, like, we need facilities,
Mm-hmm.
but they're only two people.
Sure.
And, they don't have.
I would say if you fix that part, school shootings go away, gun violence decrease, homeless, all of these things start getting back to
because there's
levels
a lot
that
of them
normal.
are required to take medications. Some of these homeless, and they don't, and there's
Sure.
no one there to monitor them.
Sure. But at the same time, we want to make sure everyone's safe and happy and healthy. But at the same time, we got to put teeth on our discipline for the people that truly do nefarious stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we live in a world where not all humans are good people. And
if somebody has a solution, I'm sure every city in this nation would be happy.
Sure. Absolutely.
The problem has gotten worse nationwide, and I don't see it improving anywhere.
Absolutely. But in the meantime, please come out to the informative meeting for the homeless issue. It's going to be next Tuesday, and it's going to be at the recreation, the Aquatic and Recreation Center. Not in the swimming pool, obviously. It'll be in one of the meeting rooms there.
And it's just an informative of what the city's working on, what they can do to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Come and listen. Come if you're curious. If you're like, I want to. What's going on? What's the city doing about it? Come to this meeting.
And Dan Jennings with the 100% Chavez County made these great little cards too, and they're on the postcards too. A lot of these, so they're going to have these to hand out. I know Geneva's bringing some.
Yeah. 100% Chavez County.
So if you want to know how
resource.
to help them, you can go to the homeless and say, "Here's where you can go for help."
Mm-hmm.
And you give them a card, and they can go to these locations
and use it for yourself too. If you need a lot of these services, 100% Chavez County's got a lot of great useful stuff for families and things. So.
Yes.
So keep a card for yourself. There might be a few things on that list that might help you.
Yeah, because that's the best thing. If you want to help them, let them know where they can go for help.
Yeah.
And if you want to help them, give to these organizations that are listed on all these.
Sure, absolutely too. And you know what? Just reach out to the organizations directly if you have questions.
Yeah.
The Homeless Coalition, Helping Hands. You know what? If you're wondering, hey, what's some call the city. They'll be happy to tell you what some organization, and it's on the website. They'll be happy to say these are some good organizations you should partner with if you want to get more involved with helping homeless and doing your part to kind of resolve this issue. That's the way to do it. We all got to do it by, and we can't. And I get it. I know. I understand. I feel for you too. Sometimes days like, but I know you're not really helping. You're just getting that person to the next event here.
Well, because even when she was wondering, when he'd asked me where to send the cards, I go, send it to the places with the people that care. Because those are the ones that want to help.
Absolutely.
But they don't know how. But now hopefully we're getting the word out. This is how you actually help.
Absolutely. Please. And and some of these some are faith-based, some aren't. So if you have a preference one way or the other, they got you covered. All of it's there too. But get involved that way. Don't come to these meetings. Stay informed through that way.
Yeah.
And when we have our forums that kind of offer solutions, please share them. We want to. We all want the same thing. We want to live in a great city that's beautiful, clean.
And the reason for the meeting
wonderful.
was, we see on Facebook a lot of people posting. People are always asking, "What are we doing?" I just wanted them to know that we're not ignoring the situation.
No,
we are trying to be proactive.
Sure.
But,
But really, the best way to do is support the people that do that do this.
Yeah.
For their passion.
Yeah.
That's the way we can do and support it because they're far better educated, they're better equipped, and already have the relationships, connections there to make headway where you cannot. You have to start from square one. These folks have already done that legwork and done that establishment and stuff there. So please consider that. Don't forget, Saturday cleaning up. Come on out. We got, don't forget, Fall Festival the 31st. Don't forget our homeless information meeting at the Rec Center next Tuesday. What time was that again?
At 4 o'clock.
4 p.m. And
Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de
los Muertos at the library.
And then one quick plug. Do you want to plug the new pilot project that you're working on in Ward 2?
Yeah, so we've been working with Abraham Chaparro at the
sanitation, solid waste.
Yeah, solid waste. So we're having a lot of complaints about the grappler trucks. We have a shortage of drivers.
Okay.
And people aren't getting their large items picked up in the alley. So we're starting a pilot program. We're going to put a rollaway in a neighborhood for like 3 days for a whole weekend.
So if you can get it there, that would be helpful.
You can get it there. And it's the first one we're going to do is at the It's right north of that fire station. It's on Garden.
Okay.
And Mescalero, I think.
Okay, so folks that live in that area, they'll
Just
have a roll-off there for you.
Yep. But it's a pilot program because we don't want people to abuse it. There's certain things they can't allow. I think it was
tires, asbestos,
liquid,
nuclear,
right? The
waste type
dangerous stuff with, but like tree branches.
Yeah,
and
tree branches, old furniture, and anything. Bring
those
it there.
mattresses, the popular items you see in the alley.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
So this is an opportunity. They instead of having to drive all the way out, because they get a free dump day anyways with the water bill. But this way, it's right there in their neighborhood. They can throw it in, and so. If the pilot program works really well, we're going to do it in neighborhoods all throughout the city.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe while folks are out doing their community cleanups this weekend, maybe if you notice a few troublesome areas, maybe get that information back to Kathy.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe that'll help kind of steer where some of these other roll-offs go.
And I would like to
that.
make a comment, too, on the people when they put stuff in the alley, they need to make sure if they want the grappler to get it, keep it away from the fences, keep it away from the gas meters.
Yeah.
You know.
You remember that game Operation?
Yes.
Kind of like
It's
that.
kinda
So
like that.
the easy
If
make
it's
it
next
for
to
'em.
the fence, that grappler can knock the fence over.
Yeah.
So they need to make sure sure you're not blocking the road either or the
Right.
alleyway, but just keep it where the grappler can easily grab it.
And bag your leaves. That's the big one. Is if they can bag their leaves and put all their tree branches
'Cause we live
together
in
in a
Southeast New
bundle, it
Mexico.
helps them
If
a
it
lot.
can blow, it will blow. In
Oh,
Southeast
yeah.
New Mexico.
Yeah. And don't throw the furniture in the dumpsters.
No, that's going to mess up a lot of
And
stuff.
go to our website if if you have questions on what is available to throw in there and what is not. It's online at roswell-nm.gov. It'll be on our Facebook page. We'll be doing an announcement. I think it's already out, but anyhow, come and participate and
Do your part.
Do your part, yeah.
Absolutely, please.
Yeah. Keep
And if you have
Roswell
any
beautiful.
questions, don't hesitate to reach out to City Hall.
Yep.
Call, go to the website, call your city councilor if you have questions. That's what they're there for. They'll be happy to answer those kind of things and come out and participate. Get
And then
involved.
we're excited to see how it goes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you all next time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
anytime you need to get on, give me a holler.
Appreciate it.
All right. It is 8:58. We're going to take a quick break before news. Don't go away.
Discover a rewarding career in public service. The New Mexico Human Services Department is ready to hire for over 100 data entry positions, including opportunities to work from home. Apply and interview same day at the Rapid Hire event on Thursday, October 19th, in person at New Mexico Workforce Connection Centers located statewide. Bring multiple copies of your up-to-date resume, professional references, proof of right to work in the U.S., and dress for success. Join us October 19th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and give back to your community through dedicated service in state government. We hope to see you there. For more information, contact your local New Mexico Workforce Connection office.
Honey, read this. Seems Councilman Barry Foster didn't pay his water bill for over 2 years, owing almost $2,000.
How? They would have cut his water off.
State mandates the water service couldn't be cut during COVID.
This says the Fosters make around $150,000 a year, and they refuse to pay their water bill?
Since Barry Foster's been on city council, city debt has tripled. With rising crime, he voted against hiring 5 new police officers.
And the city delayed vital repairs to our drinking water system. Now, repair costs have skyrocketed.
It's time for a change.
Change by voting for Carlos Marujo.
He's a supervisor at Eastern New Mexico U. Carlos knows how inflation impacts Roswell's working families.
Carlos Marujo will demand Roswell live within its means. He respects taxpayers.
We can't afford 16 years of Councilman Barry Foster.
Our Values PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by Our Values PAC. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
Although American and Israeli intelligence have presented evidence that it was an errant terrorist rocket that blew up, some insist on blaming Israel. This evening, President Biden to address the nation from the Oval Office.
Having just returned from a whirlwind trip to Israel, the president will deliver a primetime speech to discuss 2 critical world events: the U.S. response to Hamas's terrorist attacks against Israel and Russia's ongoing war against Ukraine. Mr. Biden said he would be asking Congress this week to approve supplemental funding for both Israel and Ukraine, along with some domestic needs. And White House officials are considering a package that could cost tens of billions of dollars. Greg Clugston, Washington.
There were hundreds of arrests during yesterday's protests on Capitol Hill, demonstrators shouting "Free Palestine" and "Ceasefire now." Several protesters face charges of assaulting a police officer. Third vote expected today as House Republicans try once again to elect a Speaker of the House. Ohio's Jim Jordan, the nominee, unable so far to get the votes needed to get the Speaker's gavel. Unemployment applications falling to an 8-month low last week.
Businesses are continuing to retain workers despite elevated interest rates meant to cool the economy and labor market. The Labor Department reports jobless claim applications fell by 13,000 to 198,000 for the week ending October 14th. That's the fewest since January.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Ford laying off another 150 Michigan auto workers as the UAW strike, which kicked off on September 15th, drags on. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 119 points, the Nasdaq 7 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Following reports of a weapons transfer, the Russian foreign minister is visiting North Korea.
Several North Korean singers serenade Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov at a gala concert in honor of his visit. Russian state television ran footage of crowds greeting Lavrov in the pouring rain in Pyongyang, alongside a welcoming party waving pom-poms. His visit comes just days after the U.S. said Pyongyang had transferred munitions to Russia for its ongoing war in Ukraine. Shortly after arriving, Lavrov said he came to discuss putting agreements in place that were made when North Korean leader Kim Jong-un recently visited Russia. I'm Karen Shamas.
Japan's exports rose 4.3% last month from 1 year ago, while imports sank 16.3%, and that left a positive balance of $410 billion. Japan's first monthly trade surplus in 3 months. News and analysis, townhall.com. A startling confession in Alabama.
The chief suspect in the 2005 disappearance of Natalie Holloway has admitted he killed her and disposed of her remains. The admission part of a plea deal with prosecutors on extortion charges. Joran Vandersloot pleaded guilty Wednesday to trying to extort money from Holloway's mother in exchange for revealing the location of her daughter's body. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison for extortion and wire fraud, but is not charged in Holloway's death or disappearance. U.S. Judge Anna Manasco said she considered Vandersloot's confession to Holloway's murder in her sentencing decision. John Scott reporting.
Authorities at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina say the death of a Marine is under investigation as a possible homicide, and another Marine considered a suspect in the case is in custody. The death occurred in a barracks room last night. No further details have been released. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The traveler said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace and Viernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5. Not 3 winners.
I already forgot it again.
Wiener.
Like, I already forgot what it was.
Me too.
It's like, I know it's something pachichas? I don't remember. I don't want to embarrass myself to the Latino community.
I already did that last hour when I was talking about Dia de los Muertos. I was like, La Rona? And they're like, what?
You got to, La Llorona. You got to experience it a little bit on Saturday at the fair.
Yeah?
Sitting in the booth with the Spanish speaker.
Yes.
And how you'll just sit there and try to like pick out words that you understand.
Oh my gosh. I was doing the Saturday at the fair. And there was a name of the band, one of the bands performing. It just would not. The way the letters were put together, I could not form my tongue to say they wanted to. And of course, Chloe was like, "Oh, it's this," and she just plow. And I'm like,
"That's what I was doing." I was just handing. I was like, "So first up is," and then it's. And coming up to the stage next is.
I could fake my way through, but there was one that. I was just like, I am so sorry. I really am not trying to do this bad. My brain does not compute how to put these letters together.
I had to when I put together the commercial.
Yeah,
I had to Google it. And this is something you'll notice about me when I'm not sure about the pronunciation of something.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna barrel through it.
Right.
I'm just gonna go as fast as I can through it and ignore that I messed everything up.
Hey guys, welcome to the. We're gonna be here till 3 o'clock. At the.
It is fun to bust out the tongue trill when I go back home to Oklahoma because they're like, they're all Southern drawl and whatnot. I'm like, let me get the enchiladas with the con queso.
Yeah.
What you say, boy?
Certain states, their speaking rate is like 6 beats per minute. It's just and so when you have to hit something in the rapido, it ain't built that way.
Things go a little slower down south, actually Midwest. For as middle of the country as Oklahoma is, we really lean into our southern heritage. Southern
and you're like that bubble, and it's just because I grew up in Maryland. Maryland is the exact same way in that way. We're south of the Mason-Dixon line, just barely. Maryland-Pennsylvania border is the official Maryland Mason-Dixon line, which kind of is our unofficial delineation of north versus south. But we've never been claimed by either. We people up north called us rednecks. People in Virginia call us Yankees. We are legit
the bastard of the East Coast.
Exactly. But our lifestyle also indicates such. That middle of the road is that you go north and it gets into the Ewens and Bulmer and and then you go down back where I lived. It's like you get you boys a stick. It's right there.
Right. You guys, you're right on the borderline. You got it's like a Rumspringer for you. You have a choice to make when you turn 18.
Yeah.
Which way do I go?
So hence the reason I got a little bit of Yankee, a little bit of redneck in me. I'm a hodgepodge.
A little
of
bit
both.
Country, a little bit rock and roll.
Yes,
there you go.
I am
there
that, it's because where I grew up.
I was not southern, so southern that I was not able to drop the accent and adopt a non-regionalized accent.
Right.
That was the first thing. I was like, okay, let's get rid of that as quick as we can, because that's not going to win you friends in 5th grade.
Yeah, it's.
Hey guys, wait up!
Yeah, we lived in an area where it was so easy to just slightly change that accent or that way of thinking so much.
Yes, you sort of had to.
We'll see what that's about. It was something. I got an art text. Hold on. I'm going to stop. He don't text me very often.
There's a fun little factoid.
I want to know what this is about.
Mixmaster Mike Winters is getting behind the palette next week.
Yes,
he's
I am
going to
still
pick
on
up
the
a
air.
paintbrush and put some artwork down next Wednesday.
Yeah. I got a thing from Art saying ask am I still on the air.
Oh, well, I was talking about your other art.
Yeah. No. I got to do that next Wednesday.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, sorry.
Are we allowed to talk about it, or?
I think so. Well, we're talking.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, they've got a big event coming up.
And we'll have them on tomorrow, actually.
Is it tomorrow?
I believe so. Friday, right?
No, I think it's next week. Next Tuesday we're going to have
next
one.
week.
Yeah, it's next week.
All right.
No, tomorrow's just the day.
So I'm lying.
They lying. You know they lying. You shoot them. Use your best judgment. Thank you very much. Sorry. Armed and Dangerous reference. So yeah, next week I'm gonna paint a painting for charity, and then we're gonna have a big event in February. We're gonna actually talk. Tune into the radio show next Tuesday. We'll learn you more about it.
Do you know where you're going to go with it, or do they have like a design that they have set out for you?
I think the world's my oyster, man.
Okay.
Whatever I want to do is what I'm going to get help with. Now remember, my painting level is 0. My artistic skill level, about a 2.
So here's what you do. Go Jackson Pollock on them. Like, just grab handfuls of paint and just huck it at the canvas and just see what happens. Just full-blown, like Rorschach painting.
I'm thinking, there's Bob. All right, so let's do this. Bob's here.
Yes.
So let's do this real quick. Let's do weather, and then we're going to talk with Bob Power real quick about a dance and Veterans Day real quick, and then we'll talk to our DA guys real quick. So hang on. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Not much going on over our region. We have high pressure in place and dry air, so no rain expected for a while. We'll be in the low to mid 80s for the afternoon high today. Lots of sunshine. Overnight looks clear with low 50s. Warming up a little bit on Friday with upper 80s and continued sunshine. Mix of sun and clouds on Saturday and Sunday. Highs close to 90. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. And it is 9:12, and we got a busy, packed hour this hour. So we're going right to the action. Bob Power back with us this morning. How you doing, Bob?
Okay, I'm kind of disappointed.
Why is that?
Well, I thought when I got here you'd have prime rib and eggs for me.
The DA's office ate them all. Blame them. They ate all the eggs. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have any... you know what? If Roy has a George Foreman, maybe we can work that up next time. They get mad when we fire up the George Foreman in here, but we could maybe work something out if we
How
need
come
to.
it's always the next time?
But Bob has 2 big events coming up here we want to invite people out to. First is this Saturday night.
That's correct.
We're ready to get your dancing shoes on. We got another fun dance night this Saturday night. It will be at Westminster Presbyterian Church, as these dances always are. Again, Cibolo Springs. And, of course, Cindy Richardson and Marva Roberts will be your designated entertainers from the evening. So get ready for a little bit of country and a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of everything. Dinner? What's on tap for dinner, Bob?
We're undecided yet.
All right, so dinner to be determined. But there will be a delicious meal, as always. And the beauty of this thing, it's really a very cheap evening. You pay $5, come in for a night of dancing and dinner and food and $5 a person. Come bring a date or come find a date. Maybe come solo and maybe you will meet.
Well, the guys can bring their wife or their husband, their wife or their girlfriend.
Yeah, bring
just don't bring both.
That's right. That tends to start ruckus at the dance when that happens. So we don't want ruckus, so don't do that. But and if you've never heard Cindy and Marvin do their thing, they're really talented musicians. Cindy was a Vegas performer and in Texas, an award-winning performer. Their music is something to enjoy. To put it this way, it's way worth more than the $5 you're going to pay to get into the dance on Saturday.
And this dance is going to be a little bit different because we're going to have a costume contest.
A little Halloween, bring your costumes and have a little fun with it.
Right. Women can dress up as witches and men as cowboys or whatever they want to dress up as.
Couple costumes are always good. Might get you a few extra points in the costume contest.
Exactly.
So if you want to do a tag team duo of, Raggedy Ann and Andy, or if you want to go more Star Warsy like C-3PO and R2-D2, or if you want to be Batman and Robin, whatever your proclivities are there.
Exactly.
Maybe Superman, Wonder Woman, I don't know, whatever you want to do there, or like I said, a witch in a Wolfman or something. I don't know.
It's going to be an enjoyable evening.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. You're gonna go home tired from all the dancing, full from all the eating, and just a good night of fun. And if you're just looking for a good night of just a laid back dancing fun, come and meet people, hang out, social. That's what it's about. And
if they don't want to wear a costume, that's fine too.
Sure, wear clothes though. We do require clothing. If you come naked, that will get you in trouble.
Right,
Safe to say.
Especially with you if you're dancing on the table.
Oh, yeah. There's crevices in me you do not want to see. No one wants to see. That would be illegal. But again, that's this Saturday night. If you have any questions, call Bob or Tom Blake, actually, either one. Tom Blake, he's a pastor at Westminster Church. They're 575-420-3434. Or you can call Bob here direct at 575-910-4648. And then put it on your calendars. 6 to 9 p.m. this Saturday night. Big dance, costume, come costumed or not, come ready to eat, come ready to enjoy Cibolo Springs, and 6 to 9 p.m., $5 will get you in the door per person.
The only thing we insist on is that you come and have fun.
That's right. And if you don't, we're going to make you have fun. You will have fun, or you will not leave. Just kidding. But it's going to be a fun night. So come out. It's the best an evening of $5 you will ever have ever. I guarantee you that.
Yes, I agree.
Good deal. Now, that's this Saturday. Now, of course, Veterans Day, November 11th, coming up here, and Bob, as kind of a tradition, Bob is putting together an annual Veterans Dinner for veterans and families to come and be a part of. It's going to be November the 11th, and it's going to be at First United Methodist Church there on Pennsylvania, 200 North Pennsylvania. Full dinner. Prime rib, the trimmings, steak dinner, and all of that, and some great entertainment. We have a couple of local performers that will be doing some singing for us and things like that. And I hear tell I'll be emceeing that event. So please apologize for the bad jokes. It's worth the prime rib. My bad jokes are worth prime rib. You can sit through the bad jokes to eat some prime rib. But we just want to thank veterans for a free dinner. Come on out and free dinner for our veterans, and bring your spouse or some of your family with you too on this. So
okay.
What else do we want to mention about the veterans dinner? You probably could use some donations and things right now, right?
I need donations, because I underestimated the cost of this.
Yeah, well, prime rib's not cheap.
No, I'm paying $15 a pound.
Gotcha.
And I need approximately 50 pounds.
Okay. So
we're expecting around 100 people.
Okay, so if some folks would like to help out financially here, reach out to Bob, or you can go to First United Methodist Church too. I'm sure if you tell them, say, hey, I want to help out for the Veteran Dinner, Bob, they'll make sure it gets to Bob.
Yeah.
But you can call Bob direct.
It's easier just to call me direct.
Yeah, call him direct. But if for some reason you're part of the church and you say, hey, I heard Bob on the radio, I dropped some money off for Bob. So they'll make sure it gets
That'll work.
Yeah, that'll work. But call Bob direct, 575-910-4648. That's the number you can reach Bob at if you have questions about the dance on Saturday. Or if you want to get involved, maybe there's a few civic organizations that want to kind of back and support you on this. And again, it's for a veterans dinner on Veterans Day at First United Methodist Church. Looking to get some more money here to pay for prime rib and everything to thank our veterans here. So please reach out to Bob. It's going to be a fun night. And veterans, we'd love to invite you to come out and be a part of this. Come and chew some dirt with some people that did a lot of the same things you did in their time at some one point in their life.
We've got the Roswell Honor Guard, the Roswell Patriot Guard.
Great.
And they're going to see to it that it's a patriotic evening.
Good deal. They'll be in charge of the setting the tone for the evening, I guess you could
exactly.
say. Yeah. Now we got a couple great local singers too.
Yeah, and Tom Blake is scheduled to start it off with a patriotic song.
Well, it wouldn't be official unless Tom Blake did that. That's kind of a rule.
And his patriotic songs are beautiful.
I have not heard a song Tom Blake's done that wasn't.
Yeah.
No matter what the song is. Patriotic, not patriotic. Tom Blake is a great musician, a great person. So he's worth the admission free alone.
Well, the best part is there is no admission.
That's right. It's free. It's free for our veterans and things. And but if you'd like to get involved and donate financially or help out, or if there's a group out there that wants to help sponsor this event, please reach out to.
And this isn't only for veterans; it's for spouses of veterans that are deceased.
Mm-hmm.
It's for their family.
Yeah.
So make it a
special thing,
special night.
Veterans Day is that one day that we really want to make sure that every veteran knows that we are so grateful for the service that they have done at some point in their life for us.
Well, I try to treat every day as Veterans Day.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that's a good way to live it. I've never been one of those people because like Memorial Days for those that made and some people get little. Don't thank me. I'm still alive, kind of thing, and I don't agree with that per se. There's never a bad day to think of that. So
right.
You're absolutely right. But please reach out to Bob 575-910-4648. Again, 575-910-4648. If you have any questions about the dance this Saturday night at Westminster Presbyterian Church, or for this Veterans Day dinner here on November 11th, if you want to sponsor, if you want to donate. If you want more questions, reach out to Bob direct, 575-910-4648. I've got that number here, so if you're driving and can't remember it, give me a holler, and I'll make sure you get it.
Okay.
Good deal. Did we get it all, Bob?
I
know it was whirlwind, but we just got a lot of guests.
The only thing I didn't get is the prime rib and eggs.
All right. Well, talk to see if he can bust out his George Foreman to Roy over here and see. They do frown upon it when he uses it, but because it smells up the whole building. But we're those people sometimes. But anyway, thank you, Bob. We'll see you here next time, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Anytime. And get on out there and bring your dancing shoes Saturday night. I guarantee. Bring you $5. You're going to have a fun night. You're like, why is this the first one I ever went to? I should go these. So, because he does them usually about once a quarter or so here, 4 or 5 times a year. So, don't miss this one. Come out Saturday night. Come enjoy the music, enjoy the food, and get ready. And bring your costumes. Make it fun, but you don't have to. Just come and have some fun.
And we're trying to get Mike Winters there dressed as Cupid.
That's right. So. Well, at least I'm dressed. I don't want to be naked. That's too much. Cupid, that's at least clothing.
Cupid had a little bit on.
People like seeing my legs. So. Well, thank you, Bob. We'll see you next time.
Sorry, but I'm not one of them.
Well, you're in your right mind. I don't understand those people either. I don't want to look at them in their mind. It is 9:23. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk with the folks from the District Attorney's Office. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate, the scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays. A stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes, and insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in, and in the summer it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment, 575-755-7663, or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
There's a popular Christian song on the radio entitled Hold On by Katie Nicole. The chorus goes like this: hold on just a little bit longer. I know it's going to be okay. These days are going to make you stronger. You'll find purpose in the pain. Have you ever been there? Are you having trouble holding on? We've all been there. Believe me, I have. There was a man in the Bible named David who was called a man after God's own heart. Yet he felt this way too. In Psalm 13, David says, "How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and day after day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph?" David was having a crisis of faith and questioning if God was still listening to him. But he ends the psalm with these words: "But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing the Lord's praise, for he has been good to me. David's message is simple. Just hold on. Even when you don't feel him, God is there. You don't have to make it alone.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
This October, Artesia General Hospital is here to help you take charge of your breast health. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer. Understanding your family history and getting screened can help lower your risk and lead to early detection. They're pleased to offer advanced 3D mammography, providing increased early detection, more accurate results, and enhanced comfort. Don't wait. Request your mammogram today. Women over 40 don't need a physician's referral to schedule their annual screening. Visit artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nook. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
But he has a Braddock device, so got resources. Good morning. It is 28 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, we have our Chief Deputy District Attorney, Patrick Melvin. I had to look to make sure I got the title right because I'm good at botching those. And speaking of botching titles, Justin Dominguez, Lead Investigator, is the official title there. I botched his about 4 times. Good morning, guys. How's life at the DA's office?
Good morning, Mike.
Doing well, doing good. I know you guys are always busy. There's always 100 things going on, but good news is we got some events that we want the public to know about. We kind of touched on last time.
Correct.
The big golf tournament that's and this is to help out for our rescue dogs,
the court dogs,
the court dogs. They're not rescue dogs. The court dogs.
Right. Yeah.
They're the ones that make everybody happy.
Exactly. And they do a great job at that. Settling down our victims when they come to testify and stuff. It kind of puts them at ease a little bit. Helps them out.
Matter of factly, I think I have some of their cards here for the dog cards.
That's Duke right there in the
front.
front.
And Tina and Kiki and Bobo the Clown, which I hear is actually the star of the 4.
Yeah. No, man.
But we'd like to have some more of these dogs.
Yes,
and some more.
Absolutely.
More support so we can expand and grow this program. And this is really kind of an initiative that was brought to the 5th Judicial District, and the rest of the district like, hey, what a good idea. We should try to do something like that. This is kind of a homegrown 5th Judicial District program.
Yes, Mike, it is. And I got to tell you, without those dogs, it has made the difference sometimes between a successful prosecution, especially in child victim crimes. Those dogs really allow the child to be comfortable enough to testify, and it's made all the difference. They're very important.
You don't because obviously when you get into a situation and families are dealing with attorneys and folks in suits and dresses and looking very formal, that if that's not your world, that's an intimidating thing.
Absolutely.
And especially with younger kids and stuff, they don't probably even fully understand what's going on in the situation at that moment. So they're looking for something familiar, something that reminds them of good things and home and things like that. And 9 times out of 10, one of these dogs walking into the room creates that. It creates that environment where the guards come down, like people's let their guard down a little bit. They get a little bit, oh, cute dog.
Right.
And you start seeing the human side of people.
Absolutely.
And that's the part you guys need to do what you do sometimes.
And, and it even works for our office staff when they'll bring them up to the office sometimes. And you can see, the office staff and the attorneys and stuff.
I've seen the most
get
important, stuffy people on the planet turn to goo when you put a dog in front of them.
Yes,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
It has that effect on people.
Right.
So we said, well, let's take something that for many folks is a rough, bad situation, and let's bring a little bit of peace and comfort in there in the hopes that it brings a little clarity, a little bit of, all right, let's calm the emotions and focus on the facts.
Absolutely.
And once that can happen, then the district attorney's office can really do their job. And so it's as you as a district attorney, as an attorney here, you that's a valuable tool for you to get the evidence and the information you need to prosecute your case. And that's where Justin comes in, so he can do. It makes it a lot easier for him to do his legwork on the investigative side. So when he's got to talk to the families and talk things to get you the information you need to prosecute your case, those dogs are the difference between I've got everything I need versus we're going to have to do another angle here to try to pull out the evidence. And that's you're actually getting people convicted by bringing some happy-go-lucky dogs into a room and letting them roll around the floor with them for a little bit.
Right.
It really does make a difference.
It really does. It really does, Mike.
And so, throughout the year, every year, the foundation that supports and helps the courthouse dogs and stuff, the DA Dogs Foundation, puts on a couple of different fundraisers. One of them being they'll do a salsa drive where they make fresh homemade salsa and they'll sell that stuff. And then they'll have a bigger event where they try to get some more fundraising, a bigger fundraising type of event.
Sure.
And this year they're doing a golf tournament, sponsored by Marathon, and we appreciate that wholeheartedly.
It's great to see Marathon stepping up and being the title sponsor for this. Big thank you.
And then, of course, the New Mexico Military Institute. That's the golf course that we're being provided to host the event and stuff. So we're grateful for that.
And they're very
as well.
good at putting together tournaments and things like that.
Absolutely.
So they're the experts at the golf. So you guys just roll and say, "Can you do that tournament thing you guys do?" And they do their expert work.
And so the tournament is scheduled to take place on October the 28th, and registration is due no later than October the 23rd.
All right.
There's still spots available.
Okay, so
and so to get registered, you can contact the NIMI Pro Shop or Gina Yeager, and the NIMI Pro Shop number is 575-622-6033, or you can contact Gina at 575-626-2422, and that's for any questions or registration questions or anything like that. And
Now,
again,
if
it's due no later than October the 23rd for
Now, I
registration.
would advise you, if your questions are more golf fun related, like what's the bracket at the hole, you might want to call the pro shop.
Right.
They can answer those questions much better than Gina can.
Sure, absolutely.
If you have more general questions about the organization and the money or sporting, Gina's probably your better person to talk to on that. But if you want to sign up your team or ask questions about handicaps and all that kind of stuff, talk to the pro at the NMMI golf course and let them handle that for you.
And it's a 3-man scramble, and the entry fee is $300 per team. And they'll have breakfast, lunch, drinks, and some drawings and some raffles throughout the day. First place payout is going to be $450. Second place will be $300, and third place will be $225.
Nice.
So
and more importantly, you telling everybody you're the first place one.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be honest, the money's going to make you buy drinks for everybody.
Yeah,
that's kind of how that works. But you really get the brag.
And at the end of the day, Mike, it all goes towards helping.
I know how it works.
The Court Facility Dog Foundation.
And that's the thing. We want to raise as much money as possible here. So you don't have to be good at golf. You can be awful at golf, and we'd love to have you come out and have fun. It's more about the fun. You can take it as seriously as you want, and of course that's where the pro is an expert at working. Is it like a 3-person scramble? Or,
yes.
Yeah. I think that's the generally how they go on that. So if you have a 3-person team already, you can sign up there. But if you don't have 2 friends, you can just sign up and they'll put you together in teams if you want, or if you have 2 and you need a third. The pro's good at figuring that side out, but. So that's why you call him if you got golf-related questions.
Yes,
on
sir.
This. But please come out the 28th. Make plans to attend. Like I said, we got a couple more days here, about 2-3 more days to get registered. I would also guess I know we already got Marathon as our title sponsor, but if someone wants to get involved just hearing sponsorship, I mean, it's probably hard to get your name on things at this point. But
that's a Gina question, and that's a great question for Gina. I know she'd be happy to hear from any potential donors or sponsors.
Yeah.
We're always, I mean, it really is a huge help when the community steps in and supports.
And don't worry, we'll get you the
programs.
recognition. I'll come here and talk about you on the radio.
So will we.
You know, if that's what you're looking for, we'll help you there. But
absolutely.
But at the end of the day, if you can help support this, it's not too late to get money, because every dime raised is going to go back to this to the DA dog program and making sure and spreading the word and getting more dogs.
Yes.
And providing more opportunities, and because really these 4 dogs now cover all of southeast New Mexico pretty much. So they've got some frequent road miles.
And the training they go through to be certified as one of the court dogs is extensive.
It's thousands of dollars to get them to be trained to do what they do. You don't realize how much work is involved in getting a dog ready to do this job.
That's right, and they also do in big tragedies and shootings and things of that these dogs will go out.
So their scope's a little bit bigger than even just
I know for sure. Gina's been on the road with some of her other handlers to El Paso when they had the big mall shooting and stuff in El Paso. When they had the court hearing, she was up there, helping provide support.
Being that calm in the storm
when
as much
when
as
the tragedy happened in Uvalde, she went down there and provided support with the court dogs in Uvalde for the school shooting down there.
Great.
So
sad that it's needed, but great it was there.
Yeah, so it doesn't just help out our community. We branch out and try to help out as many communities as we can.
This is kind of this is like the new way of thinking. This whole logic behind the dog program. It's kind of that a change in ideology and stuff. And let's put the humanity back into these cases so we can. The human element's what solves them. That's the difference between a conviction and not a conviction a lot of times here. So if whatever we can do to help these victims, A, deal through the process of what they're going through, but B, also help them to be the best fighters for their own for their case. And sometimes that's and these dogs provide that strength, provide that reassurance to some of these families, especially when you get these children that, dealing with some really, really stuff that children shouldn't be dealing with. Sometimes a big lick and a dog sitting in your face and doing it in your lap and rolling around the floor with you kind of reminds you, all right, maybe life's not as bad as what it feels like right now.
Sure.
That's what it's about. So come out, whack some balls around with us, eat. There's going to be tons of food. It's a golf tournament. If you leave hungry, it's your own fault.
Right.
And come on out, but it'll be here on the 28th at the New Mexico Military Institute Golf Course. Deadline to register is the 22nd? 23rd.
And it'll be a 9 a.m. shotgun start on the 28th.
Very good. Go by the pro shop at the NMI Golf Course. You can sign up there or call Gina at the DA's office for information and questions there, too. But if you really want to sign up and talk golf, go to the pro guy. He's going to be much more beneficial for you than Gina probably will be on
Yes, sir.
So, good deal. We got another initiative we also want to talk a little bit about, too. Kind of get us into that a little bit here.
Absolutely, Mike. And earlier this year, our legislature had passed some new laws to help combat shoplifting and organized retail crime.
Because I think all of us understand it's been a bit of an epidemic lately.
Yes.
You've turned on a social media account anywhere and seen what's going on. That's globally, but it's just as bad here in our neck of the woods too.
Yes, sir.
It absolutely is.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been talking to a number of retailers, and this just has to stop.
Well, you're seeing what's not happening. Go look in Albuquerque. Every day you get on the news and some stores closing, and it's all because of product asset protection and that kind of stuff. That's what they're dealing with. These big businesses, like, it's cheaper for us to move online rather than having a big box store, and we don't want to see that happen in our part of the state here. Right. So
absolutely,
we're seeing steps to correct that.
Yeah, and so. Let's just go ahead and start. I'll have Justin talk about what we're doing. We are setting up a new initiative to combat this.
Okay.
And
so Diana, after the legislation was passed and we were able to get some teeth to bite on some of these shoplifting
Long overdue,
charges,
by the way,
and being able to aggregate these charges to higher up the level of degree of crime that is being committed for harsher penalties and stuff like that. So kudos to the legislators that helped fight that fight and get it passed. And now it's in play. And Diana Luce, our DA, has tasked us with working on setting up a task force to put together for the 5th Judicial District to help keep the flow of information fluid between the 11 agencies that are in the 5th Judicial District as it pertains to retail theft and shoplifting.
So this is probably a good way to keep track of what we would call our frequent flyers.
Yep.
The folks that they pretty much do this for a living.
That's exactly what we're trying to do. Because you know what, Mike, bottom line, if they're doing this in Artesia and we crack down on them in Artesia, they're going to move to Roswell and start doing, or they're going to go to Hobbs. They're going to go to Carlsbad.
Wherever it's the path of least resistance is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if we get all 11 agencies in the 5th Judicial District on board and representatives from each of them, along with representatives from the chambers and representatives from our retail partners that are experiencing this, we'll be able to keep that flow of information fluid throughout the district and be able to identify the individuals who are hurting our communities through retail theft.
Yeah, it is a problem, and it will get worse if something is not done about it.
And as part of that, like Justin was saying, they do something in Roswell, we crack down, then they move to Hobbs, they go somewhere else. As part of this new legislation, we can lump those together in a 90-day period. However many shopliftings they do in that 90-day period to increase that penalty to felony level.
So they can actually add up the merchandise.
That's right.
Because you got to steal X amount of dollars worth of thing to be qualified as a felony. So if you're stealing $5 here, $5 there, $5 there, it's kind of hard to make a felony. But now we've got a collective. Oh, you got a bill. Your tab is now up to $1,000.
Right.
Guess what?
Exactly. That's right.
You're now a felony charge.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's right. And that bill is coming due. Our office is starting before a lot of these very low level ones were officer prosecuted. Our office is going to be entering on all of these cases as part of the task force, and so that we can review those and get that information and track it and raise it to that level.
Sure.
This problem has gone on far too long, and we're going to do something about it.
Well, and this is, look, I get it. Hard times, things happen. People have hearts, and you're like, people needs and all that. I get that.
And there's resources available for
there
that.
are resources, but the moment we lose law and order, the moment we lose everything.
That's right.
And and what we're seeing,
and obviously there's going to be a difference in how if somebody is stealing a loaf of bread to feed their family, that's obviously much different.
Yeah, that's a different, and usually a judge will do, and they turn it into a lesson learned. But when they're rolling into one big box store and stealing, going to electronics department and stealing a bunch of stuff, and then walking right out, and then they go up the street to the other big box store and do the same thing.
Well, and then they're turning around and selling these items on Facebook Marketplace,
that's not
on
because
eBay.
They need to eat. That's because they're nefarious.
And that's where the organized retail crime part comes into the legislation. Now, also, if there's someone sitting back handing out a list to the individuals that are going in and stealing the items and bringing that back so they can post it on our marketplace and make a buck.
Absolutely.
And
for the
now
love
we
of
can
God.
charge them also.
Yeah.
On top of the individuals that are taking the items, we can charge the people who are selling them. And
Absolutely.
then if there's another top tier of crime that's going on where there's just a person who's not involved in any of it but kind of directing it or taking care of the funding part of it, then we can charge that individual as well.
Nice. So it really gives you actually tools to make some of this stuff stick.
Yes.
And actually, punish the people that deserve to be punished for these things.
So we're setting up. We've set up as part of this initiative on behalf of Diana Luce. We've talked to the chambers, to the chambers of commerce in each city in our district. The last one we have is meeting with Andrea Norris here in Roswell.
Okay.
Coming up next week, we'll have that meeting with her, and we'll put together the plan of action for Roswell. And we're doing training sessions that are restricted to our office, our law enforcement partners, and our retail partners.
Okay.
Because some of the things that are talked about in these sessions are sensitive information.
Sure.
So we're holding that
But
initiative.
it's that communication between...
The main thing is to let our retail partners know that they're supported.
Judicial system, law enforcement, and the retailers we're trying to provide some relief for.
For far too long, the notion has been, that things oftentimes are reported and not followed up on, or are getting to the point where they're no longer reporting because what's the point? So we are here to vocalize that to our retail partners that stops now, and let's get on board. Let's work together with our retail partners to
people
make a
that
difference.
don't have consequences will do as much as they can get away with. That's unfortunately not all humans, but it's kind of ingrained in humans. Like if you know, that's why when you join the military and stuff, they preach integrity and all that's so hard because of all the things that's in human nature that goes against integrity is the one that humans left to their own devices will not show most of the time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so, like to your point, you see these videos and things where if you try to confront or do anything about it, the people that do that are getting prosecuted. And you see that world, and so people are like, "Well, let them go then." And so they feel like there's no consequence for their actions. Like I can walk in here and loot it, and videotape me all you want. What are you going to do? Well, now you guys are finally get some tools to say,
yes,
smile. You're going to jail.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And Diana Luce will put people in jail.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's
this is very serious, and well, it's about time that
the message needs to be sent. This will not be tolerated anymore, and this is it's one of those things, and it's bad for everybody. People that kind of take offense to this a little bit. It's like why are you doing all that? But they just need to eat. In those cases that just need to eat, that's not how it ends. It's usually someone crying, talking, and someone works something out 90 times out of 10. But
that's
you
right.
can't walk in there and take thousands of dollars of merchandise and just strut out there and say, poor me, I need to eat. No one's going to feel sympathy for that.
Correct.
And you need to be prosecuted for
That's
that.
right.
So that's the thing. Look, if you need help, there are resources. Like Justin said earlier, reach out. We, especially in Roswell, we really have a community that really loves to help and get involved for people that need it. You just got to seek it out and go do it.
Yeah, and I really have to give a shout out to our chamber partners in this district because we've met with the CEOs or executive directors of each of the chambers thus far, with the exception of Roswell. We'll take care of that. And Andrea and I have been on the phone constantly, and she supports the initiative as well.
She's on board.
We just haven't had our formal
do the
meeting
formal
yet.
part. Yeah,
but we really got to shout out our chamber partners because they've been so accepting and so enthused about this initiative.
Well, and I certainly, because my involvement in our chamber here, but I'm sure all of our chambers are dealing. They've got a client base.
Oh, Mike,
they're
so excited
when
when we sat down to have these meetings. Like you could just see them light up because they understand something is now being done.
Well, if you want growth and new business in your communities, you got to stop this because
that's right.
Not only are you hampering the businesses you have, anybody that has a desire to open a business is like, yeah, forget that noise.
Right.
I'll keep it online, or whatever.
Right.
Yep.
And so this is how we make our community better. It's by cracking down on this stuff, and it's great that you guys are finally getting some help from the legislature, which in turn allows you to do these policies that can really make a difference and actually see a decline in this type of stuff instead of us just watching the next video on TikTok going, dang, and get mad about it.
Right. Yeah, and for the public that wants to aid in this, there's going to be flyers and stickers and stuff put up at some of the retail stores that will have designated phone numbers and contact information where people can, if they know of something that's going on, of people that are acting in cahoots to take merchandise and then turn around and sell it, that they can report that, and there'll be avenues for them to work with us, and obviously we'll work with them on accepting the information and being very grateful for it takes a village, right? And so we're grateful that when the public,
I imagine your law enforcement partners are very happy too because they see these same people that they arrest, and then they're back out on the street the next day because really at the end of the day there's not much you guys legally can do.
Right.
And now that changes. So maybe our law enforcement won't be seeing the same people every single time. You know what I mean?
And we always work very well with our law enforcement partners. Like I said, there's 11 different agencies, law enforcement agencies in our district. So our office really, really does our best to maintain and cultivate working relationships with all of our law enforcement partners, and I think we do a great job at that as well. And we're so very grateful for them and the job that they're doing.
Absolutely.
Because it really helps us.
Well, it's a team.
Well.
Everyone's got to do everyone's got is a cog in the big machine here, and without one of those cogs not spinning right, the machine doesn't move.
Right.
And the district attorney's office has to do their part. The law enforcement has to do their part. We, the public, have to do our part. It's all part of that. Like you said, it takes a village mindset. It really, because if we don't agree to abide by the laws, then and so this is that thing. And when you have people that are trying to challenge and push the envelope here, you got to push back.
That's right.
Or you get run over. And we're not going to let ourselves get run over. We got to push back.
That's right. You have to have accountability.
Yeah. So, you want best ways you could help do this stuff? A, work with your merchants, talk and anything. But seriously, come out and do golf on the 28th. Come out, whack the ball around,
Please.
have fun. Let's raise as much money. So they got a problem. It's like, dude, we got so many dogs. We need like a facility to house the dog. We got so many dogs now. You know, we would love that to be a problem where we got so much resources that we got some people twiddling thumbs because things are getting taken care of. That would be a good thing, and especially in this world, because unfortunately it's not going to happen. There's whenever one case is finds resolution, there's 20 more behind it waiting for the same thing. So that's the world we live in. And but what the families do with the dog, this is such a great thing, and it's fun. This is actually probably the happiest part of your job. Sometimes it's probably the dogs and and the rolling around and doing all.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Stuff. It is.
And and we appreciate you, Mike, and the radio station for giving us a platform to come and talk about these things.
Anytime, and I know I ask every once in a while. Make sure you guys are taking care of your own mental health too.
Yes,
that's something that folks. If young folks, if you have pursue a career as a lawyer or want to get in the DA's office. It's a noble profession with great work, and you're going to be making a difference, but you got to have some mental fortitude to get through it because you're going to see the worst in humanity.
Yes.
You're going to see it. And if you see it a lot, it can mess with you after a while. So
it's important to have an outlet.
It's important for our DA's folks. So if folks, you got friends in the DA's office, always check in on them. Always keep tabs. Always, they always watch each other six, but you can watch your friend's six.
Absolutely, Mike.
That's
very important.
We all need that. Is there any other information we wanted to make sure we got out there and we just got sidetracked on? I'm good at getting sidetracked. So
no, I think we covered what we needed to cover.
And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call the DA's office.
Right.
About anything we talked, even if you just want information or they love to inform the public because the more information that generally the less work they have to do on the DA's part.
Yeah,
it just works out that way.
anytime we get to talk to the public or educate the public on what it is that we do, because it is sometimes it does get skewed sometimes the process and the judicial system and how it goes about. Where we are transparent and we want to make sure that people have the correct information to move forward.
There's so many places to get information nowadays, and unfortunately, that tends to warp the information that gets out there sometimes.
Sure.
So please, it's never wrong to go to the source sometimes. Thank you, guys. We appreciate what you guys do, and we look forward to our next conversation.
Yep. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate you.
Get on out, whack a golf ball around. Do it to your. And I say this jokingly, but not. You really could save a life by whacking a golf ball around on the 28th.
October 23rd.
Yeah,
get your teams registered.
Yeah, get 23rd your deadline, and then make yourself free on the 28th to hit the ball around.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Mike. Appreciate you.
Anytime. It is 9:54. Let's do a quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
And now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. A judge has formally granted permission to attend in-person university classes to the teenager accused of disposing of her newborn infant in a hospital trash can in Artesia. Alexi Treviso appeared at the court hearing via Zoom, addressing several motions that were filed in her murder case. Treviso contends that the child was stillborn, but prosecutors say the autopsy of the infant shows otherwise. The judge ruled Treviso could attend classes at New Mexico State University in Las Cruces without violating her bond condition that orders no contact with the father of the child, who is also a student at the same school. A short section of North Garden Avenue from just north of the railroad tracks to just south of the tracks in Roswell will be closed to traffic for a couple of days next week. Repairs are being made to the railroad crossing. The impacted section of Garden Avenue east of the Wool Bowl is scheduled to be closed from Tuesday through Wednesday of next week. That time period could be reduced if Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway completes the work sooner. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
New York Times also didn't get the facts from reliable sources. Here's a news flash, by the way. Hamas lies. Hamas is a terror group, and the Associated Press. Hamas says Israeli airstrike on Gaza hospital kills hundreds as Biden heads to Mideast. BBC, hundreds of people have been killed in an Israeli strike on a hospital in Gaza, according to Palestinian officials. The LA Times, at least 500 killed in the Israeli airstrike on Gaza hospital. Gaza Health Ministry says. Reuters, hundreds killed in Israeli airstrike on Gaza hospital, according to health authorities. Really? And it goes on from there. That's basically every news organization. How many facts did they have? None. Absolutely zero. What did they have driving them? Hamas's propaganda?
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Occasionally something comes out that just changes the game drastically for the better, like a microwave oven or GPS navigation or jet engines, you name it, or cell phones. Recently, Rhino Metals, that's America's leading safe manufacturer, they have launched an amazing new safe design that falls into this category. It's called Safe X, and it uses a completely new way of locking the safe that gives you the anti-pry protection and security of safes that cost thousands and thousands of dollars more. And right now you can save big on these revolutionary gun safes delivered right to your home. Now, these are a tremendous value and the best safes you're going to find. And in Rhino Pry Test, SafeX gun safes, they outperformed other brands, costing up to, 4 or 5 times as much. Now, I've owned plenty of gun safes over the years, and I can tell you without a doubt, Rhino metal safes are just better in every way than anything I've ever seen. And every safe is backed by the best warranties and support. RhinoSafe.com, RhinoSafe.com.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Applications for unemployment fell to their lowest level in 8 months last week. Applications dropped by 13,000 to 198,000 for the week ending October 14th. That is the fewest since January. Wall Street lower at mid-morning as big U.S. companies deliver mixed quarterly financial reports and Treasury yields add to downward pressure on stocks. Also, oil prices have given back some of their recent gains. American Airlines rose 1.2% in pre-market activity after it reported a $545 million loss for the third quarter. That was in contrast with the huge profits posted by its two closest rivals. AT&T shares jumped 4.7%. It beat Wall Street's third quarter expectations, raising its guidance for the year. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
This spooky season, Roswell Nissan's getting you hooked up with a few treats. No tricks required. Roswell Nissan presents Truck or Treat, Saturday, October 21st from noon to 3. A ghoulishly good time, complete with games and activities for the little goblins. Free food, pumpkin painting contest, and of course, caskets full of candy. And Roswell Nissan will be giving away Graves Farm Pumpkin Patch and Hayride tickets and haunted house passes. Drawing at 3 p.m. sharp, must be present to win. Truck or Treat, Saturday, October 21st at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND